I'm Bud Norris, and I approve this message.
And the message is loud and clear. Bud Norris is the leader of the Astros pitching staff. Pitching with power, precision, and passion, Bud has rocketed to the upper echelon of Major League starters. His mission today, deliver the message to Oakland hitters and end this long road trip on a winning note. Will Bud deliver? Time to find out. Live from HOU Coliseum in Oakland, California, Comcast Sportsnet Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today is the finale of a 9-game road trip, the Astros meeting the Oakland A's. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown, Jeff Blum, Alan Ashby. It's a warmer day. The ball probably will be carrying a lot better today. The Astros hope it's carrying for them because they're getting pummeled by the A's. They've lost all 5 games in the season series, Jeff.
Yeah, we need a break, and if it's the sunlight being out and the wind blowing out, we're going to take advantage of it here today, hopefully.
It has been a tough go against the Oakland A's. They just keep coming at you with offense, with pitching, base running, defense. They've been a solid club.
And they have Bartolo Colon going today. He beat Bud Norris in Houston. Bud would love to turn the tables on him.
Yeah, and we've definitely got the right guy on the mound, considering the situation we're in right now. In Bud's last 5 starts, he's got a 1.14. He's been throwing the ball great, and you saw it against the Anaheim Angels when he went 7 strong, not giving up a run. Good sliders, got 2 sliders now, and mixed in that changeup that really kept him off balance.
Had a terrific finish to last season, a couple of shutout efforts, and he's carried it right on over this year, earning that opening day nod, beating the Texas Rangers. Worked into the 6th inning, couldn't get out of it as he took a loss in start number 2. And then that 3rd start, just great work against the Angels. 7 innings, needed only 96 pitches to get it done. A shutout effort, and Bud Norris continues to pitch great baseball.
Let's go down on the field now. Julia does not have to bundle up today. Julia.
No, it's nice down here, guys. Yeah, Bud Norris getting to work today on the mound, but he's actually been doing a lot of work off the field on his days off. He's very verbal with the young guys, and he takes a lot of pride in the rookies of this clubhouse. Brad Peacock, no different. Yesterday's starter has been watching him, studying him all season long, and yesterday in between innings, he would sit down next to Norris and discuss things he should be doing, should not be doing. One big piece of advice he got from Bud: stay calm, take your time, walk around the mound. It's something that Brad has admitted to. He's struggled in all 3 starts. Today, though, Brad's just going to watch. He gets a front row seat as Bud will try to get another win here at the Coliseum in front of lots of his friends and family, as he is from the area. All right, coming up, we'll see if he can do just that as the Astros try to close out a 9-game 10-day road trip here against the Oakland A's. Stay with us. First pitch is after the break.
brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. It's a nice day here in Oakland. The wind is swirling, but the ball usually carries very well here. For a day game, the Astros and the Athletics playing for the 6th time this year. The Astros are 0-5 against Oakland, and in all-time play in this ballpark, they're also 0-5. They are 1-10 lifetime against the A's. And here's the starting lineup now as they play the final game of this 9-game road trip. It's Jose Altuve at second base for Bo Porter. Justin Maxwell's in center field. Jason Castro bats third. He's the catcher with Chris Carter, the DH, the cleanup man. Carlos Pena plays first base, batting fifth. He's followed by left fielder J.D. Martinez, right fielder Brandon Barnes, third baseman Matt Dominguez, and shortstop Marwin Gonzalez.
On the mound, it's 39-year-old right-hander Bartolo Colon, a guy who throws a ton of fastballs. You will see primarily the heater from this big right-hander today. Throws it for strikes and tends to get a lot of balls hit in the air.
He goes to work on Jose Altuve, who takes his first pitch, and it's ball one.
First pitch, 12:36.
Altuve at 345 has one homer. He's driven in 7 runs. That's a strike for Colon on a 69-degree afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty much runs that two-seam fastball all the time these days.
Working quickly and throwing a lot of fastballs. It's 2 balls and a strike for Colon, who's 1-0 with a 4.15 ERA for his first 2 starts. He just came off that suspension to pitch in Houston. And he beat Bud Norris in his first start back 6-3. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Colon has won 172 and lost 122 in his career. 4-2 lifetime against Houston. Broken bat looper on the right side. Here's the first baseman Peterson tossing to Colon, who does not make the catch. And Altuve is aboard to lead off the game.
Bartolo Colon got a late break from the mound on this one, not realizing initially that he was going to be involved in the play, and I don't know if that messed up the timing between the two.
Back in the center position, center fielder.
And this ball gets right on the hands of Altuve. Just a little bit of a jog, and then the realization by Colon that he needed to go. And as the toss was made, had it been made in front, they still had Altuve.
He got jammed a little bit, and I think Bartolo thought the second baseman might come up and make that play, but it wasn't hit hard enough, and the first baseman had to.
That's a tough angle for the pitcher to catch that ball coming from behind him. Justin Maxwell at 286 has 1 homer. He's driven in 5. He goes for the first one and fouls it for strike 1. Justin is 2 for 8 with an RBI in this series. He's hit .229 on the road trip. Altuve has 33 steals from last year and still looking for number 1. He's 0 for 1 this season. The Astros as a team have 1 stolen base in 4 attempts this year. It's a decent sized lead, and he attracts some attention.
Pretty gracious base hit awarded right there.
Well, the A's with the best American League record are 11-4. They have a 1.5 game lead in the AL West on the Texas Rangers. The Astros, like the Angels, are 4-10. They are both 6.5 behind in the AL West. The A's get ready to go east after this game. Well, they have done a job in their division. They're 10-2 in the AL West. They've won 10 in a row in this division. They are really working on Altuve big time.
And with that focus on Altuve on the right side, first baseman holding at the bag, a huge hole on that side for Maxwell to take advantage of if he chooses.
Oakland and Texas are out of the gate well. Altuve's hit his 21st of the year. He was in the top 6 when this game started in the American League. Maxwell puts it in the air, foul. Peterson coming over for it, and it's out of play. Juggling catch by a fan.
John from Piedmont at the game today.
Jeff Murphy got hurt throwing batting practice before the game today. And he coaches in the bullpen, coaches the catchers. He has a hamstring injury. It's going to be a tough flight for him back home. He got tangled up. The wind blew the screen on him, and he got his leg tangled up in that screen that protects the batting practice pitcher. Had to have some attention. That's a line shot caught. Sogard is there. Maxwell hit it on the button, but for out number 1. Here's a look back at batting practice, and Jeff Murphy.
Well, Brownie, you pointed out earlier that we were having variable winds whip through this ballpark, and he had his back turned, and the wind caught that thing and threw it. Pretty good skull shot right there too.
Yeah.
But in the process of trying to hold that thing up, I think it's his left hamstring trying to hold that thing up snapped. Then he just man down.
Oh, boy.
It's a big man in big pain.
Yeah. Jason Castro hit a ball a long way last night, caught in left center field. He was talking about that before the game. There's strike 1 to Jason, a 200 hitter with 1 homer and 3 runs batted in.
I was glad right there to see Justin Maxwell try to go toward that right side, maybe take advantage.
Actually hit it pretty well for, I mean, Bartolo throws that running, sinking fastball in on right-handers. He did a good job of trying to shoot that hole.
Castro was an A's fan growing up, 1-1. He's 1 for 8 in this series. And he hit the 3-run homer off Colon in Houston to left center field. Colon threw 89.5% fastballs last year. He's up to 92.2 this year and 92.9 in his last start, which was a no decision against Detroit here Friday. He pitched well in that one. That's into right field. Altuve takes a look and heads for third base. And here's the throw as he falls. Reddick getting it in toward third base. It was cut off on a single by Castro. It's first and third, 1 out.
Batting in the 4th position.
I don't think that was on purpose, but that reminded me of that outfielder Chad Curtis, I think it was, who always made those throws and ended up doing a flip afterwards.
That's true.
But I think Josh just lost his footing right here trying to come up and throw. Oof. Oh.
That's pretty good that the throw came back to the infield with that footwork. Looked like the cleats came completely out of the ground.
Never a doubt in Altuve's mind he was going to third on that hit, and another man down. Tough start today with Murphy and Al Reddick going down. Chris Carter at 264 has 4 bombs. He's had a powerful road trip. There's ball 1 to Carter, the former Oakland player, 1 for 6 with an RBI in this series, but 387 on the road trip, 4 homers, 8 runs batted in. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count, so this gives the Astros an excellent opportunity for some early scoring in this game. Carter, the type of hitter who drives the ball. When he hits it in the air, it usually would be deep enough to get a runner home from third. Colon has struck out 7 in his first 13 innings. It's 1-2.
Looked like Carter might have been thinking right field.
These are those team at bats we were talking about that we missed out on yesterday when JD punched out with the runners in scoring position. These are those team at bats you got to go up there and focus on getting that run in. You have to get this run in.
Rick Ankiel also involved in an early game strikeout with 1 out and men in scoring position.
Carter grounds, and there's a diving play. Donaldson from his knees gets the out at second and safe at first. The Astros get a run just by an eyelash at first base on a close call by Gary Darling. Tremendous play by Donaldson, and then Sogard got the throw on to first, and Carter just beat it for his 9th run batted in.
Very quick footwork at second base, I will say, by Sogard. We'll see if he maintains the bag, but what a play to get things started. Yeah. Phantom time. Good job by Carter getting down the line to get a run on the board.
That was important. 1-0 Houston, and it's Carlos Pena who hit an opposite field homer last night in the 8th inning off lefty Sean Doolittle to tie the game 3-3. Pena's first as an Astro. He's driven in 5 with a .250 average. Sogard is out in right field. Strike one to Pena as Bob Melvin goes with the I formation with his game plan.
Yeah, it's been I mean, they haven't picked one shift for Carlos. They've mixed it up quite a bit.
They really have. Now the shortstop Lowry's over on the left side.
That run the Astros just scored right there is the first inning, or the first time that Bartolo's given up a first inning run in 12 starts. It's good to see him jumping on him early.
He is a strike throwing machine.
Gets a lot of movement on his fastball. This the changeup, and looks the very same as the fastball with that fading diving movement.
You know, 2 outs here, but the way they look on the infield, if Pena hit a one hopper to Sogard, that could be a double play ball, even as deep as he is.
Yeah, these these shifts always line up interesting on double play situations because the third baseman is now going to have to turn it with the shortstop, who's basically running, you know, from center field in.
Pena looks at it. It's 1-2.
Wonder when the last time Bartolo Colon threw back-to-back changeups. Good chance he's coming with a heater here, Ash.
You would think so, but that changeup you would figure would be quite effective for Bartolo Colon. The hitters have to be looking heater. That heater has a lot of movement.
Pena takes that one.
There's your third in a row.
Wow.
2-2. His home run last night was his first in 61 at bats. Last 7 games he's hit .360 with 4 doubles, 6 walks, a homer, and 5 runs batted in 25 at bats for Carlos.
Wonder how much that fastball hit the other way for a home run by Pena last night has factored in here early.
They pick off the runner at first, Carter, to end the first inning for Houston with 1 run, 2 hits, nobody left. The Astros won. The A's coming up. Oakland at the HOU at OAK Coliseum. They were having a little tailgating action before this day game. Final game of the homestand. The A's fans have watched them go 3-2 on this homestand so far. It's Houston 1, Oakland coming up with Bob Melvin's lineup card. Beginning with the DH, John Jaso. Chris Young's in center field. Seth Smith in left. Jed Lowry is at shortstop. Then it's Josh Donaldson at third base, Josh Reddick in right field, Derek Norris the catcher, Eric Sogard at second base, Shane Peterson at first base.
And we've talked quite a bit about right-hander Bud Norris, 28 years of age, off to a fine start. 2-1 for the ball club. Outstanding ERA of 1.96. And again, this comes on the heels of 2 starts to finish last season, 2 starts that saw him give up no runs, 0 in each one of those. Bud Norris is showing that he is the ace of the staff.
Backing up Bud this afternoon. J.D. Martinez in left field, Justin Maxwell in center field, Brandon Barnes in right field, Matt Dominguez at third base, Marwin Gonzalez at short, Jose Altuve at second, Carlos Pena at first, and Jason Castro is working with Bud this afternoon.
John Jaso, the DH, takes the first one there, ball one, to a 282 hitter with 1 homer, 6 runs batted in. Jaso had a 6-game hitting streak, but the last 3 games he slipped back to 1 for 9. And he's been leading off a little bit lately with the absence of Coco Crisp, who missed a couple of games over the weekend in the Detroit series with a groin problem, and today getting a day off. Crisp is one of the hot A's hitters. He has an 11-game hitting streak, and he's leading the league in total bases. 1-2 for Bud Norris, pitching the first game of his career here at the Coliseum. He defeated the Angels with 7 innings of shutout ball last time out.
John Jaso, a catcher by trade, not a burner on the base paths, but a guy that gets on base a good percentage of the time, 364 the on base percentage.
Jaso was drafted by Tampa Bay in the 12th round in 2003. They traded him to Seattle, and then another trade brought him to Oakland. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So when Bud faced Bartolo Colon in Houston, April 6th, Bud went 5 2/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. There were 3 unearned runs that scored. Left field line is chalked. He gets it just into fair territory, and Jaso heads in with an opposite field double to left. That's his 2nd double of the year as he took Norris the other way to get this game started offensively for Oakland.
It's really something with these Oakland A's. You get started well, you put a run on the board for your ace, Bud Norris, and they just started right off swinging the sticks.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. I believe it was a changeup on the outside corner, and Jaso just going with it and actually drove it down that left field line.
You know, we talked last night about this lineup the Oakland A's throw out there, regardless of who they put in the lineup. They're guys that have come from other organizations, didn't stick for whatever reason, and they have come here and they just look like a team that can maybe play as well together as a team as anybody.
Makes you wonder who was in front of these guys that the other teams let them go.
Exactly. The ball 1 to Chris Young. Well, for example, Chris had fallen out of favor a little bit in Arizona. They had plenty of other outfielders, so here he is playing center field today. 188, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. He's had some good seasons.
Ask anybody around here with the Oakland A's, how do they do it? What's going on? And the name Bob Melvin will come out, and just how he brings these guys together.
Fly ball left center field. That is going to be in for a hit for Young. The ball off Maxwell's glove. He slides. The run scores. Into second is Young, and it's 1-1. Maxwell had a long way to go. He got the ball on the end of his glove, and it got away from him. So Young moves into second and ties the game.
More very good hitting by the Oakland A's. Now, I'm not sure if this ball is handled cleanly that Young doesn't glide into second base with a double anyway. Did you catch what they said?
Double.
Double. Good deal. Yeah, it's single and an E8.
Oh, okay. Well, the scoreboard indicated something different. So here is Seth Smith. 424 for him. And the ball bounces in front of Castro, ball 1. So Young picks up the RBI, his 9th of the year. And that's Maxwell's first error of the year. But I agree with you. I don't know if he fields that ball cleanly. I don't think he gets Young at second base.
Yeah, I think it's a double one way or the other.
Smith has 6 doubles himself. He's tied for second in the league. Rolls over on that one. What did you think about that play, Jeff? Did you think that should have been a double for Young?
Yeah. Maxwell had to range far to his right, trying to come back and make that throw to second base with Chris Young's speed. Might have been a close play, but I still think CY would have made it in there.
Smith has glittering numbers for his playing time. He's DH some of the time, but in left field today with Crisp getting a day off. Turn back towards second by Norris. The Astros really found Oakland taking running liberties against them last night. The A's stealing 4 bases in 4 tries, including a double steal in the 4th inning by Young and Reddick. As Young stole third. And Young had 2 steals in that game last night, 1 and 2. So for the season, the A's have 7 stolen bases in 8 tries against Houston. And just talking to the coaches, some of the players, their feeling was that the pitchers were very predictable and the runners picked up on that.
I think sometimes pitchers get in a routine, and I know the catchers are getting the signs from the dugout these days, but pitchers get in a routine where if they see a sign, they're like, okay, I'm just throwing the pitch. I'm not going to deviate at all. I'm not going to throw over. But that doesn't mean you can't.
Here's Dominguez, long throw on a backhand play, safe at first. Well, that was a lucky hit for Smith in a sense, that he had a check swing and the ball stayed fair. Then Dominguez, who was well off the line, had to come way back and backhand, and he made a terrific play on it, but Smith got an infield hit.
That's just tough right there. That's just tough luck. Like the ball down the line, to lose the game last night is right on the chalk line. Jaso's ball's right on the chalk line. Just put that ball in play and see what happens.
Yeah, it falls in that category of nothing you can do about it if you're the Astros, and yet as you watch the Oakland A's game after game, it looks like everything goes their way.
Yeah, they create their luck, don't they?
Well, they get those base runners on, and then they have those guys that get those clutch hit to drive in some of those mistakes and some of those lucky hits.
Very good point. Jed Lowry is among the league leaders in different categories. 2 men on for Jed, nobody out, and there's strike 1 to him. Lowry at .357 has 3 homers, 12 runs batted in. He's tied for 3rd in total bases with 35. He's tied for 6th with 20 hits. Terrific start for Lowry, and he's 2 for 3 with a homer off Norris.
The Oakland A's start the day leading all the major league clubs in runs scored, and by a fair margin, 7 more than the Colorado Rockies playing at Coors.
1-1. The A's at home are 5-3. On the road, they're 6-0. And it's Lowry's birthday.
How about a shout out to Rowdy Roddy Piper?
Ooh.
That's when I was into the wrestling, Ash.
Denny Walling.
Sounds like you might still be into it.
Denny still coaching in the minor leagues, Ash?
Denny Walling?
Yeah.
Last I knew, no.
Okay.
He had been a roving hitting coach. He'd been in the big leagues as a hitting coach, but it's been a while since I've seen Denny.
Lowry works the count to 2-1. Jed, 29 years old today. I talked to him a couple years ago, and he was a roving hitting coach at that time. Boy, was he a pinch hitter.
He's a good hitter.
Tremendous clutch hitter off the bench. In for a strike for Norris. It's 2-2. This Oakland team, even though all those numbers are tremendous for the A's, as you pointed out, Ash, are hitting .215 at home.
That's not possible.
That doesn't make any sense.
No. They've scored 38 runs in 9 games, so just slightly over a 4-run per game average at home.
Funny thing is, they're not a great batting average team.
No.
It's runs scored, total bases that they lead in, stolen bases. They're right up there near the top, leading the league in home runs. Just when it comes together, when it's all said and done, these are the categories you really look for. Walks.
Right. Yeah, the walks are a big part of what they do. They're 3rd in on base average. They're 2nd in slugging. A combination of walks and homers will carry a team a long way offensively.
They have 9 more walks than the second best team in baseball.
And now another one adds to the first inning difficulty for Bud Norris. Bases loaded, nobody out. Now Josh Donaldson from last night. Game-winning 2-outs triple on a 3-2 pitch in the 8th inning to win it 4-3.
Yeah, that was a 2-out rally by Oakland. A 2-out walk to Josh Reddick. And then it sits right in front of the triple down the line, just out of the reach of Ankiel for the Astros. And boy, it's phenomenal how things fall into place for these A's.
It is. Yeah, those hits that are just fair, diving catches. It's all working together for them. 259 for Donaldson, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. Well, guys who play the game will tell you just ride the crest when that's happening, because you're going to wind up going the other direction at some point.
I think it's amazing how every walk that we give up seemingly comes back to haunt us.
It's been a problem. Strike to Donaldson. Donaldson's 2 for 8 in this series, 5 for 11 in his career with the bases loaded.
Yeah, the overall average for the Oakland A's may be down, but with runners in scoring position, they're hitting .293, which is 3rd in the league.
Pena in, infield fly, but it's a foul ball, so that infield fly does not apply. It has to be fair. And this is not one of those easy days for plays like that. It is a very bright sky, and the wind is swirling.
Yeah, we saw the wind having a little fun with the pop flies on the first day in, but today you add the sun to it. It could make it real interesting.
Josh Reddick comes up.
Never like to see your pitcher calling to begin with. I'm not sure that Bud called, but he certainly appeared to be on the scene and glad to relinquish that position as Pena came on.
Yeah. Reddick 0 for 2 with a couple of walks and a steal last night. Sat out game 1 of this series Monday night. In the dirt for ball 1. Reddick does not hit many ground balls at all. In fact, he had the lowest ground ball to fly ball ratio in the American League last year. In case you're thinking about a double play ball. With Young, Smith, and Lowry, the base runners. Now it's 2 balls, no strikes to Reddick.
A's have already added a double. Should be 2 here in the first inning, but start the day leading in extra base hits by a wide margin. 61 extra base hits. The next best, Washington, at 47, tied with Colorado. So they're just way out in front of the pack.
It all adds up to an 11-4 record. Deep drive to right field. Way back, Barnes. It one-hops the wall. Young scores. Smith behind him. A stop sign for Lowry. And the A's lead it 3-1 on a 2-run double by Reddick. That's his second double of the year. It gives him 7 runs batted in.
Well, they're just simply confirming everything we see statistically.
Fastball up out over the plate. Like Ash said, he drives the ball in the air. And you get a fastball up like that to a hitter like Josh Reddick. He doesn't miss it too often.
Now with 1 out, runners at second and third. The batter is Derek Norris. He's on a 3-game hitting streak. .417 his average. He's driven in 4. He's hit in all 7 of his starts this year. He looks at ball 1. Norris has also doubled in each of his last 4 starts. Takes a look at that one for ball 2. Derek, 24 years old, from Goddard, Kansas. Hit .201 last season in 209 at bats. He did the catching in game 1 of this series Monday night and went 1 for 3 with a couple of walks, scored 3 runs. It's 2-1, so he and J-So are sharing that catching position just about equally early in the season. Swing and a miss there by Norris, makes the count 2-2. The Astros are back home Friday night after the off day tomorrow.
Good place for the strikeout or pop up on the infield if you can get it. Minimize the damage.
Bud Norris pitched so well that last time out against the Angels, shutting them out for 7. He has a huge differential home versus road in his career. At home 18-15 with a 3.50 ERA. On the road 12-23 with a 5.25.
Bud continues to wonder what is on his finger or not on his finger. He's not, seems like he's not getting the grip, as you noticed from that breaking ball right there, not snapping back into the zone. But one of these times, you got to make the adjustment.
Thought for an instant there he was indicating that maybe there was something wrong, a blister on the finger, something, but apparently it was just anger on his part.
He's just not getting a bite on that.
And he had plenty of bite on it last time out.
Sure did.
Of course, with this wind howling around, it can affect pitchers, no question about it. But clearly, he just keeps going back to the fingers to his mouth, trying to get some moisture. A lot of frustration.
Sogard's on deck with a 3-2 pitch coming next to Norris.
Got to find a way around that, Ash. There's adjustments to be made, whether legal or illegal, but
you're not suggesting.
As a hitter, I never shied away from. I know guys would do it to get a little more tackiness on their fingers, whether it be pine tar or some other substance. Sunscreen is always good, I've heard, but I'm not opposed to those guys having a little bit more. Stick them on there. Keep that pitch in the zone. It keeps me from getting drilled on a wild pitch.
Actually, and that's where I was wondering if you were going.
No,
if it keeps that pitch from sailing up and in on somebody, then who cares?
A walk to Norris loads the bases. Second walk of the inning.
I'm a little curious. This is 3 games in a row. We saw Eric Bedard early in his game, wild for whatever reason. I don't know what it was, but Peacock was effectively wild high in the zone, and now Bud's missing much more up in the zone than he normally does. Normally he pounds down in the zone. I don't know if it's a bullpen mound to game mound that's changing things up or what, but just having a tough time for some of these guys getting on top of the ball and throwing strikes.
Doug Brocail trying to figure out exactly what we're trying to figure out. What's it going to take right now to get you down in the strike zone, maybe get that ground ball to get out of the inning?
Well, that Detroit Tigers staff was very effective over the weekend against the Oakland A's, but the A's ran a pitch count against Justin Verlander of 111 through 6 innings. They can make even some of the best pitchers work. Now Carlos Pena's in on the grass at first. Lowry the runner at third. Base is loaded. 1 out for Sogard, who was so good last night.
I had the pleasure of watching Roy Halladay for 4 or 5 years in Toronto, and teams, the Yankees and others, would come in with that notion that they were going to take a lot of pitches, run the counts deep, get him out of the ball game early. And what he did was he just started pumping the strike zone, and before you knew it, they realized they needed to swing the bat, because once they got 2 strikes on them, they couldn't handle anything. And so you can handle that as a pitcher by throwing strikes.
Sogard was 3 for 3 last night. Triple double single. He didn't get up the 4th time for the cycle. He has a 2-0 count here. He jerks one into right field, scoring Lowry. Run number 4. Reddick gets a stop sign. The throw is into Pena. Sogard picks up his 2nd RBI, so that's his 4th straight hit now.
The one thing you can say nice job on this play is in right field, Brandon Barnes charging hard and getting a good throw back in, limiting this base hit to just a one runner.
Yeah, because Josh Reddick can run a little bit. So that was a huge, I mean, hopefully in the long run we can look back and see how Brandon Barnes cut that run off right here as we move further in the game.
3-game hitting streak now for Sogard. That's his second RBI. And we have bullpen action with Peterson batting. This is his second major league game. He was 0 for 4. As he fills in for Brandon Moss, who's away on paternity leave. Peterson was 0 for 4 last night, but he was an important contributor. Xavier Cedeno warming up on a diving catch with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. The Astros had scored 2 already off A.J. Griffin, and his catch really helped to turn the game around. 1 ball, 1 strike to Peterson.
You got to say this lineup we talk about, all these, maybe people refer to them as misfits, all coming together and fitting very well. But Eric Sogard, little guy, second baseman, has done a heck of a job against the Astros.
Some call him Harry Potter. 2 balls and a strike.
I can see that.
He's waving a magic wand right now against us.
He is. Bud Norris's first 3 starts, 4 earned runs allowed. Today, 4 earned runs allowed. And he only has 1 out in this game. Peterson's family came up from Temecula, California for his debut last night. He's a Long Beach Stater. It's 3-1 to Peterson, the number 9 hitter, who last year divided the season between AA Midland and AAA Sacramento.
A game like this, one game like this for a starter, Bud Norris can just ruin what he has done to this point, putting together 3 good starts. Really 2 great starts.
Well, his ERA at game time was in the top 10 in the American League, 1.96. And now he has a 3-1 pitch with the bases loaded and 1 out. Foul back, and it's a full count on Peterson.
Just stays up with every pitch right now, and I have a feeling a lot of that has to do with that inability to get the feel on the baseball with the fingers.
Shane Peterson had ideas of making his first home run a grand salami right there. That was a big hack.
Fastball left up, and
well,
Clint Fagan, the home plate umpire, enjoyed that pitch.
Shane Peterson figures to be headed back to the minor leagues. Brandon Moss due to rejoin the club for the road trip, which begins Friday. Now a bases loaded walk, and Norris just puts out his hands, looks over toward the bench, and another run comes home, number 5 of the inning.
It was a close pitch, and one a lot of pitchers will get. It's just the timing of when you get it, and right now timing is not on the side of the Astros.
3rd walk of the inning to go with 5 hits. The A's have been on the attack ever since Jaso's leadoff double. Now he comes around for the 2nd time. He nailed a liner just inside the left field line to get things started for Oakland. There's strike 1 to Jaso.
It's got to be so frustrating for a pitcher in this situation. You've got to feel like you're on an island with no chance of getting off of it.
Yeah, you do. You start asking yourself those questions. How do I get out of this? What pitch do I have that can get one of these guys right now?
Jaso fouls it. It's 0-2 to him.
All started with John Jaso slicing one. Tough pitch down the left field line, just inside the chalk. And so it has kind of gone.
Bud Norris on opening night beat the Texas Rangers 8-2, going 5 2/3, giving up 2 earned runs. Jaso looks at it. It's 1-2 now to John.
A lot of pitches up.
Even earlier in the count to get those 2 strikes, the sliders he was swinging out were still kind of fluttering up towards the top of the zone.
And you remember that last start we commented over and over about how steadily down around the knees biting sliders and change-ups and that fastball riding at the knees. Bud was just spectacular.
Jaso fouls it. Jaso hit a homer off Bud Norris at Houston back in 2010. That was a career high 4 RBI game for him when he was with Tampa Bay. Upstairs, it's 2-2 to Jaso with Young on deck.
Now keep in mind, I know nothing about pitching other than trying to hit it, but it just looks a little bit like Bud is kind of forcing things a little bit and flying open. That front shoulder's flying and that arm is just dragging behind him, not allowing him to get on top of that pitch and keep it in the zone.
What do you do when you start panicking as a hitter? You start trying this and trying that and over-exaggerating, and before you know it, you are just messed up beyond words. And I think the same's true with pitchers.
45 pitches so far for Norris. He threw 96 in 7 shutout innings in his last start. Eric Bedard went 1/3 of an inning Monday night. Ground ball, Altuve to his left. Throws to Pena. That's out number 2. And run number 6 comes home. Jaso getting his 7th run batted in, scoring Norris. Sogard to 3rd, Peterson to 2nd.
You see right there, when things are going bad, even a double play ground ball, you would think, can't be turned because it's hitting the right spot to just drive in a run.
Now Bo Porter comes out. Tough day for Norris, and after Bedard going 1/3 of an inning Monday night, well, the Astros were on a pretty good run with starting pitching coming into this series, and that has turned around in a major way. That's it for Norris now. So they've had 2 starts in this 3-game series in which the starter did not get 1 inning under his belt. 6-1 Athletics. Cedeno coming in after this. Here with 2 outs in the first inning. They have really blown up with 5 hits and taken advantage of 3 walks. Here's a look at the top 3 starters and how the fortunes have turned for some. Philip Umber has been consistent but has had only 1 run of support. Lucas Harrell 0-2 with a 5.63 ERA. He'll be up Friday night at home. Xavier Cedeno for 2/3 of an inning, allowing 3 hits and 4 runs here Monday night.
26-year-old left-hander in his 5th game now. The ERA is not one he would like to show off. 17.18 at this stage. 3 2/3 innings, allowing 10 runs and 7 of those earned. So a rough start on his season.
It's going to be interesting to see how the bullpen works, having Keuchel throw quite a few pitches last night. The day before that, Paul Clemens went. 5 1/3, I think.
Yes.
So you got to imagine that those two guys are down in your bullpen. That pretty much is going to put a lot of stress on that bullpen today.
You bet it will. Strike 2 Young. So Cedeno, mandate is to throw strikes, get some quick outs. Try to stay in the game for a while. Popped up foul. Pena coming over, and maybe it'll be fair. It is fair. And in the first inning, it's a 6-run frame with 5 hits, 3 walks. They got it started with Jaso. They kept churning. Reddick with a 2-run double. 6-1 ace.
Won the Oakland Athletics, and with 81 games in the books, now it all comes down to one. One team fighting for seeding, another fighting for their playoff lives. Rockets and Lakers tonight at 9:30 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. Brownie, I thought they had that 6th spot locked down.
Well, we were talking about that, and it looked good, but now they might wind up with the 8th playoff spot, depending on developments tonight. Their season ending tonight. Hope you'll stay tuned or join back in at 9:30 tonight.
Get yourself into the fray in the postseason. That's really the big thing.
You bet.
What a difference a couple days makes.
Oh, it's been a scramble down there. That part of the standings. There's ball 1 to Pena. Pena was at the plate when Carter was picked off to end the top of the first inning after the Astros got a run on 2 hits. So he starts with a fresh count after working the count to 2-2 his first time up against Cologne.
Well, speaking of what a difference a few days can make, 5 days for the Astros. Confidence was sky high after game 1 in Anaheim. They took a 4-1 lead late into the ball game, and it got away. And from that point, oh, what a turnaround.
They've been susceptible to streaks in the early going.
It's been all streaks. You're right.
Yeah, they had a 6-game losing streak. Then they won 3 in a row. Now they've lost 4 in a row.
That's tough on an offense when you lose some of those close games after getting those leads, like the 4-1 lead we had in Anaheim, and then battling back and having that tying it up 3-3. You know, knowing that you've got to score 3 or plus more runs to beat a team late in the game, it's a daunting task for any offense.
Mm-hmm. Two balls, 2 strikes to Pena. Cologne at age 39 became the 3rd pitcher in Oakland history to win 10 games in a season at age 36 or older. Don Sutton won 13 at age 40 and 85 for Oakland. Tom Candiani won 11 in 1998 at age 40.
Ash, I'm kind of curious if John Madden went into the dugout and asked him about changing their game plan in this situation. Down big early, but you've got a guy on the mound that throws a lot of fastballs in the zone. Do you stay where you're at?
Well, let's see what this fly ball does.
Yeah. Smith is over. Foul ball out. Number 1.
You know, at this moment, I'm not sure how to respond. Honest to goodness, things have gone so goofy, and you've got an Oakland A's club that seemingly can do nothing wrong. Yeah, it's a force of nature right now that I'm not sure how you deal with it. Maybe with that being the case, you just say, heck with the game plan. Go swing the bats and have some fun. Let's have a big day.
Yeah. This is the 11th straight start for J.D. Martinez. And strike one to him. 225, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. He started 8 games over that stretch in left field, 3 in right.
But I would like to see Madden's X's and O's on this one.
Oh, yes.
We've already had the boom part of the program. That
Yeah.
came in the A's half of the first inning.
Got that in early. Fly ball out to center field. A deep drive, and Young is there on the warning track. Turned all the way around. 2 outs. Madden had some great quotes about Pat Summerall today. They were terrific partners in the broadcast booth.
Batting 7th, right fielder.
Brandon Barnes said he has family here as well as family he had in Anaheim. Brandon at .333, getting his first start against a right-handed pitcher this season. He's done well against the lefties with a .444 on base average. He's had 15 at bats with 5 hits. One of those a double. He's walked 3 times. There's ball 1 to him from Bartolo Colon. Well, Fernando Martinez continues to be on rehab for AAA Oklahoma City. He went 1 for 5 last night, scored a run in 5 plate appearances as the right fielder. He's played 3 games there now, going 1 for 11 with 2 runs batted in. He's been on the DL since the beginning of the season with a strained left oblique, so it sounds as if he might not be too far away from coming back.
So many ball clubs are different about that too. You know, they obviously want to make sure you're healthy, but some ball clubs just base it on that. They don't care what your numbers are. If you're healthy, you're going to come back. You know, I wonder if the situation for Fernando is, you know, we want you healthy, but we also want to see you producing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you have to get that. I don't see how you bring a guy that's not established up to the big leagues unless he's producing at the minor league level.
True.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, you bet it does. Brandon Laird is really having a productive start for Oklahoma City right now.
What a great spring he had. It's just been steady, outstanding play.
It's 3-2. Speaking of a strained oblique, which was Fernando Martinez's injury that placed him on the disabled list, Steve Clevenger of the Cubs is out for, he's on the 60-day disabled list with that injury, but he swung and missed to end the game the other day for the Cubs and went down in a heap at home plate.
I've endured that injury, and it is miserable.
Boy, it must be.
If done properly, like I'm sure Clevenger did and myself, it is absolutely miserable.
So you and Ash might be able to relate with the.
Well, I think that's a little more long term. I broke the ribs, and still I'm just about nearing week 5 and doing pretty well. But that injury Jeff's talking about, that's months, right?
Yeah, it literally is months before you could even do anything. It affected you so many different ways.
Ground out to second for Colon on Barnes. Alcatraz.
Houston, and we've got the Geico quote of the day. It'll be from Doug Brocale, the pitching coach. We have some good arms coming up. They are just not ready yet. This doesn't happen overnight as much as the coaches and front office would like it to. And I believe Julia's got a little bit more for us.
Yeah, guys, we saw some gutsy performances out of the bullpen in this series, the first game of this series. Paul Clemens going 5 1/3 in relief, and then Dallas Keuchel last night. These are two young guys on this team, and it's not going unnoticed. The team was saying they're very impressed by their performances. It's helped these pitchers out. It's kept them in the game, and it saved the bullpen, which is important today, guys.
Pena with a dive. He gets it to Cedeno. Spectacular effort by Pena, laying out. And that's out number 1 on the first pitch to Smith here in the home second inning.
That'll help you save some of your bullpen too by making plays like that.
Really will.
Now you're talking about a leadoff double to start an inning, and that's pretty much the way Oakland probably figured the inning would start, was with a leadoff double.
They have good reason to think that. They've been pretty consistent with it.
Well, Clemens pitching through a dislocated finger. That was a gutsy performance, as Julia told us. Now Lowry comes up. Lowry walked and scored. And Cedeno throws. Ball 1 to Lowry. The Astros minor league teams now a combined 29-18. And one of those arms doing very well, Vince Velasquez at Class A Quad Cities. He's 2-0 with a 1.93 ERA in 3 games. One of the hard throwers, Asher Wojciechowski at Corpus Christi, has an ERA of 0 for 14 innings over 3 appearances with 14 strikeouts in those 14 innings.
That's one way to get noticed right there.
I bet it is.
Pretty good.
Lowry up the middle, gets it by a diving Altuve.
I guess the one thing about Wojciechowski is you still don't know how he deals with adversity.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Yeah, just keep it that way.
Good strikeout to walk ratio, 14-4. He came to the J. Happ trade from Toronto. Jake Elmore is hitting .447 at Oklahoma City. 21 for 47. A .509 on base percentage.
He is a pretty good hitter.
Yeah.
Got a chance to play with him a little bit last year when I was rehabbing in Reno, and just really worked counts, shot the ball all over the place, played multiple positions on the infield. He was fun to play with.
Donaldson with a smash. Dominguez to Altuve. Altuve to Pena. Around the horn double play for Cedeno. No runs a hit, nobody left after 2, 6-1 Oakland.
Third inning. Sunday, April 21st, the Astros face the Cleveland Indians at 1:10 p.m. The first 10,000 fans will receive an Astros green grocery tote, courtesy of Methodist Transplant Center. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your tickets today.
Astros fans watching inning number 3 with Matt Dominguez in the box, hitting .208, no homers, 5 runs batted in for Matt. A lot of excellent glove work this season. He's 0 for 8 in this series. Strike 1 to Dominguez. Dominguez has 51 total chances at third base coming into this game today, and no errors. And a lot of spectacular plays.
Had a good play starting that double play last inning to end it. He almost looks bored out there sometimes.
He does. Just as routine as can be.
Leads the majors in chances at third. Strikeout for Colon. Number 1 for him.
Still a work in progress at the plate. Chasing them high heaters, but that's why he's here. That's why a lot of these guys are here. Got to learn.
Number 9,
Marwin Gonzalez at 321 with 2 homers, 5 runs batted in. Seems to have learned from his season with the Astros last year. His numbers have been terrific. He's 1 for 4 in this series. Ronnie Cedeno's also played short in this series.
I so thoroughly agree with Jeff's comment there about I think it's the best learning ground possible. If you have a great year, great part of a year at AA, AAA, you still don't know what you can do at the big league level. And if you get that opportunity in the big leagues and get a chance to work with the very best of coaching, great opportunity to advance your skills.
Well, for instance, let's say you're playing in the PCL. That's a very good hitters league. So you have altitude in some of the ballparks that kind of help you out as a hitter with some balls that would be caught maybe in major league parks that are carrying out or off the wall. And it's just the caliber of pitching you're facing.
And if you hit 330, there's no question you'll get a lot of praise. But at the same time, everybody will say, well, yeah, but he's playing in the PCL. See what he can do on the big league level. So there's always that question mark.
3-2. Popped up, foul. Donaldson shading his eyes, comes over. 2 outs. Yeah, that's what's interesting. Sometimes a guy like Marwin Gonzalez comes along, and he had a partial season at AAA Iowa and then jumped to the big leagues in the Rule 5 draft, and he has looked from day one as if he belonged here.
Number 27, Jose Altuve.
I would say he's been one of the bright spots to this point. Quick bat, especially from the left side. He's played solid defense at short.
Well, you watch the A's in this series and you see Jed Lowry, and some people might venture to say, oh man, I wish we would have kept that guy. But Marwin Gonzalez has, for me, made me forget about having Jed Lowry. I mean, he's done a great job in that 9-hole for us.
Right. There's ball 1. And Marwin has superior range to Jed. Of course, it was a perfect trade to get Jed into Oakland because the A's, coming off a division title, wanted a more proven player to come with a contender and a guy who can play more than just shortstop. Line into right center field. Altuve gets his second hit.
Some things don't change no matter what's going on. Altuve with another hit. We've got the pitch by pitch presented by Steel Dealers. Bartolo against Altuve. A little up and in. Came back to even it up 1-1. Just a fastball. Up. Just punches it right back up the middle for another knock.
We're talking about minor league experience. Altuve skipped AAA to come to the big leagues in 2011. He's never spent a day there. Now it's Maxwell. Maxwell lined to a second earlier. There's ball 1 to J-Max. Some players can make that big jump and leap right over AAA.
Altuve is quite amazing, and you watch him on that previous pitch lining it to center, really fighting it off and yet getting the barrel to it.
He does that really well. 1 ball, 1 strike.
In watching him, I can't forecast lengthy struggles. He's got a way of getting his hits even when he may not be at his very best.
Pretty compact swing, right?
Absolutely.
And that helps.
Uses the whole field. Has pop.
And makes adjustments from a bat to a bat, too. You don't see him in too many extended stretches of not getting a hit or not hitting a ball hard. Apparently missed the spread this morning and getting after that nail.
So many of the hitters today, though, are strikeout prone. They have these long swings, and that can lead to a lot of power and also a lot of extended slumps. Coming over, Peterson. And that was too far away from him for a play. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Maxwell.
Why not?
Celebrate the occasion of a foul ball.
It's great to see newlyweds at the ballpark.
Yes, it is. J-Max hanging in well against right-handed pitching this year. Right-handers are hitting .296 against Cologne in just a couple of starts. But he's been able to reinvent himself. He'll turn 40 in May. Maxwell's down on strikes to end the top of the 3rd inning. No runs, a hit, and a man left. 6-1.
A look at what's ahead for the Astros, brought to you by Progressive. The Astros with an off day tomorrow following today's concluding game on this road trip, lengthy road trip, back home to the Indians for 3. Seattle comes in for 3, and then the Astros head out on the road. It'll be an intriguing road trip. 4 in Boston with the Red Sox, followed by 3 in New York with the Yankees before coming back home once again. Make your plans to join us at Minute Maid Park.
Friday night, Lucas Harrell opposes Brett Myers. At 6:30 for Astros pregame live Friday night when we come back on the air. Saturday night, Philip Umber is pitching, and it's to be determined for Cleveland. We hear it's going to be Scott Kazmir coming off the DL. Sunday, Eric Bedard and Ubaldo Jimenez will hook up. Now Josh Reddick against Xavier Cedeno. There's strike 1 for X. Reddick with a 2-run double to right in the 1st inning was a big part of that 6-run first.
That's the second six-run first we've had in this series.
Boy, that's crazy. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Josh Reddick, that slenderly built right fielder with lots of pop in the bat, drives one over the head of the right fielder, just part of a big 6-run first inning for these Oakland A's. Reddick with his 2nd double of the year.
Bearded bomber.
It's a good moniker.
Strikes, yeah. Well, the A's have swept the Astros in Houston. They've swept the Angels. they've lost one series over the weekend to Detroit and split the other with Seattle. With the combination of their pitching and their offense, it's going to be pretty tough for them, one would think, to go into a major tailspin this year. A lot of things can happen with injuries and what have you. But this is one of their best starts ever. Their fourth best start for the first 15 games at 11-4. Reddick's down on strikes.
Well, there's no doubt the Angels are going to have to do a lot of improving to live up to their billing. The Oakland A's, I think, continue to catch people by surprise. Texas's Rangers look like an awfully good club. It's going to be an intriguing division.
Can't imagine the Angels are going to last that long into the season, winning 10 to 8 games and going into those slugfests every series.
Derek Norris at 417 drew a walk, scored a run in the first inning.
With what you saw of the Angels, do you see them slugging it as much as anticipated?
No, not at all. Pitchers seem to have found their weaknesses and have been exposing it early on.
It's 1-1 to Norris.
Josh Hamilton has been one of the game's great offensive players. At times, certainly could be considered one of the elite players. But at least for the start of the season, it just didn't seem like that was all there.
2 balls and a strike. The Angels lost at Minnesota last night, 8-6.
Really gives you a good idea how tough this game actually is. As good as Josh Hamilton has been in the past, you know, he's off to a tough start. We saw Albert Pujols do the same thing. He made the adjustment and came back and put up decent numbers, but moving into that ballpark for Josh Hamilton at Anaheim Stadium, it might be a little bit tougher for him.
Foul ball makes it 2-2. You know, some people are talking about the guys who got away from the Angels. People like pitcher Irvin Santana, who's off to a pretty good start with Kansas City. Vernon Wells has been productive in the early days of the season for the New York Yankees, and so on down the line.
He was kind of a disaster for the Angels, and Toronto was thrilled that they could get rid of that contract when it happened.
Three balls, 2 strikes, and then there's Torrey Hunter. And the story we're hearing was that Torrey Hunter was told by the Angels, we just don't have the money to sign you. And then he turned free agent, and they wound up signing Josh Hamilton for 5 years. Torrey Hunter's fit very well into that Detroit club on a 2-year deal.
I think the Angels knew where they were going trying to get Hamilton.
Well, and you could understand because he's a right-handed hitter and they're right-handed dominant in their lineup. So Hamilton is the left-handed power stick now for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of times I feel like I wouldn't mind a club of mine being right-handed dominant offensively. You look at numbers, right-handed hitters, generally speaking, will handle right-hand pitching quite well. Some left-hand hitters, like the Oakland A's, handle left-hand pitching pretty well, but a lot just don't handle them at all.
Norris takes the walk.
I guess what I'm saying is if I was going to be dominant one way or the other, I would certainly lean toward right-hand hitters.
Cedeno goes behind the hill. That's walk number 4 for Astros pitching. Sogard is the batter. He hit a sharp RBI single to right field in the first inning.
Yeah, I don't think the Angels want to go into a slugfest with anybody, considering they are last in the American League with runners in scoring position, hitting a .155.
There's a stat.
As opposed to the Oakland A's, who are hitting .293 with runners in scoring position.
Strike there for Cedeno on Sogard. Peterson on deck. Maxwell is well over in left center field. Lots of room in straightaway center and right center. Bouncer Altuve to his right. Quick toss. Marwin Gonzalez turns it. 4-6-3 double play. 2 of those in 2 innings for the Astros. And after 3, it's 6-1 Oakland.
At 6-1 going to the 4th inning. Astros, Dynamo, Rockets, and more. We have all your sports news covered. Check out Sportsnet Central 7 days a week at 6, 10, and midnight. That's on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight's 10 Sportscast, or Make That Sportsnet Central, is brought to you by TXU Energy.
We provided Alan Ashby's favorite music in the background for his promo. Now the Orange Tops are being trotted out by the Astros today for this day game on the road.
Hip and jiggy.
Castro is strike 1. Jason single to right field in the 1st inning. He's had a couple of deep drives caught on this road trip. He talked about those before the game today. He'll be glad to get back home where he can tattoo that left center field wall. And this one goes to left as well. Room for Seth Smith. 1 out for Colon. Colon can just pump it in there now.
Yeah, he doesn't have to change his mentality at all.
No, sir. You're right.
Yeah, what do you tell a guy that already throws almost a fastball on every pitch? A lot of guys will get the big lead and they'll be reminded, just pump some fastballs, make them put it in play. Okay, so what's the difference?
And you're telling me this because...
Well, we saw you throw 3 straight changeups earlier in the game.
Well, Ray Fosse was in here, and he does TV for the A's. He's doing radio today. He said Colon at one point in one game threw 38 straight strikes. Is that what he said, Ash?
That's what he said, and he said when he finally missed, it was like an inch outside, and the umpire decided not to give it to him. What are you thinking?
It's amazing that a guy his age, and he's about to be 40, is not doing anything other than throwing a high percentage of fastballs.
Kind of become his style of pitching, and he's been a winner on his career. Some very good win-loss numbers.
57 pitches for Colon. Cy Young Award winner with the Angels in 05, 21-8 that year.
He's got 50 more wins in the big leagues than losses, 172 and 122. And he's been around a bit.
He's got him scattered all over the place.
He had 5 straight years of 200 innings or more from 01 through 05. He missed the 2010 season, came back and pitched for the Yankees in 2011.
We just saw him throw what I believe may have been his first slider of the ball game. Ice down that elbow, young man.
came up with the Indians. And traded to Montreal in that big Cliff Lee deal. Well, there were a lot of players involved in that deal. Lee Stevens, Brandon Phillips, Grady Sizemore. Shot out into left center field. Smith is over and snags this one on a well hit out number 2 for Carter. And now Pena comes up. Last year Colon was 10-9 for Oakland, but he had a 3.43 ERA, made 24 starts, and had that 50-game suspension for testosterone. A return from that and faced the Astros in Houston. Beat Bud Norris on that occasion in his return, and here he is looking just as effective as he was before. Pena fouled out to left field in the second inning. Colon delivers ball 1. Well, last night A.J. Griffin really struggled. He walked 4, was on the ropes, but he was able to get things together, and then he retired 11 in a row to get him through 6 innings. Strike makes it 1-1. Tommy Malone started the opener Monday night. He pitched well. So this could be 3 very good starts in 3 games for Bob Melvin in this series. It's a pretty steady looking rotation. You know, there's no easy touch in this Oakland rotation.
We had our opportunities last night against A.J. Griffin, just didn't take advantage of them.
Brett Anderson, their opening day guy, will pitch the Friday night game. They'll be in Tampa Bay. Jared Parker's off to a rough start, but he had a good year last year. Fly ball to left. Smith with a chance to make all 3 plays in this inning. Does that on the warning track to retire Pena. In the middle of the 4th inning, it's 6-1 Oakland.
And we want to remind you to tune in to Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning at 9:30 on CSN. Chevy Hometown Kids, where it's not about the score but the experience. Kids are getting some experience around here. We saw this last Sunday on the highlight reels. Generous Cal fan donating a ball to the cause, and the kid says, "I don't want that thing. I'm going to put it back in play."
Tommy, do you know what you just did?
This isn't going to go well at this point.
How about the older brother throwing him under the bus? He threw it back, Dad.
What are you doing?
Mom's worried about the consequences going to be coming to him.
Well, eventually both those kids got a couple of baseballs handed to them.
Little makeup call.
Peterson fouls it for strike one. He drew a bases loaded walk in the first inning. And they're back.
Got to have that older brother to keep you in line.
Still feuding down there.
My little brother knows that.
See if I ever say anything nice to you.
Cedeno deals, and it's ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Peterson.
I have a feeling that one's going to come back to haunt that poor little kid in the years to come. Big brother, remember that time?
Yeah. They're famous now. Line shot, first major league hit for Peterson, goes to center field. Earlier he had an RBI and a bases loaded walk. He's only here presumably for 2 games until Brandon Moss returns from the paternity list. And if this is his final game for a while, he did pick up his first major league hit here.
I just made a comment about left-hand hitters for the Oakland A's and how they seem to handle left-hand pitching.
Yeah.
I am not sure what's going on in this organization with their teaching, but that is so good on a big breaking ball from a lefty, kind of slinging it from first base a little bit and just hung in there beautifully.
Well, their whole team has hit .314 against left-handed pitching.
That works.
John Jaso, the batter. He looks at strike one.
The thing about the A's is they don't just come up with a right-handed lineup for left-hand pitching. They run it out there and guys handle it.
Yeah, you got to remember a right-hander started for us, so they weren't even phased when the lefty came in.
No, they were not.
Just keep bringing it.
Cedeno misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Michael Bourne has been placed on the disabled list by the Cleveland Indians, so he will not be active when the Tribe comes into Houston for the series. He has a finger laceration, right index finger. Suffered that Sunday in a loss to the White Sox. Brett Myers, though, will pitch one of those games. 2 balls and a strike. Corey Kluber has been recalled from the minor leagues to join the Indians in the absence of Michael Bourne. Terry Francona and company. And Brad Mills, former Astros skipper, is on his coaching staff. Will be there for the Friday night opener. 3-1. Boston Red Sox were in Cleveland last night. It's a nice thing that teams are doing to pay tribute to the people in Boston. Singing Sweet Caroline, and the fans here in Oakland did that last night. Fly ball out to right center field. Wide open spaces there. Maxwell running. Maxwell dives and he sticks it. He had to really come a long way to get to Jaso's fly ball. That's out number 1. Beautiful play by Maxwell.
Yeah, the positioning had Maxwell well into left center field. This ball slightly into right center field, and Maxwell needed everything he had to get to it.
Yeah, the cameraman, much like me, didn't think Maxwell had a chance, but he glided over and made the play.
Very good play by J. Max. Chris Young in the first inning singled, then took second on an error. And he batted twice in that inning. Then he popped up to first his second time. Cedeno's thrown 29 pitches. 18 have been strikes. Right side of the infield wide open for Chris Young. Wide open.
Those glasses will not give away at all where he might be looking to try to hit something. That's for sure.
One ball, 1 strike to Chris. Bel Air High School in Houston.
The whole
career hitter.
whole Bel Air baseball program has been just fantastic,
hasn't it, though? Back from the days of Jackie Moore, who's now coach for the Texas Rangers, the Knobloch family. 2 balls and a strike. Houston's been a great developmental ground for major league players down through the years. Now ball fields are springing up all over. Seth Smith is on deck. Altuve is over on the shortstop side of second, and in line with him is Maxwell in left center field, as you see. Blocked out in front by Castro. 3 balls and a strike. We'll get some bullpen action with Wesley Wright for Houston. Michael Bourne's story includes a sentence on him receiving 5 stitches in that hand. Cedeno throws over. And a walk. That's the second for Cedeno. Number 5 for Houston pitching. Runners at first and second, 1 out now for Smith. Smith is 1 for 2. Carlos Pena made a diving stop to rob him back in the second inning with a pitcher covering. Now Doug Brocail's on his way out.
Sure, Doug's out there to check on Xavier, make sure he's feeling all right, see how many more hitters, at least one more with Wesley Wright. Give him a chance to get a couple extra warm-up pitches in too.
The 5 walks you mentioned, Brownie, that's 56 issued by the Astros pitching this year, and that puts them right among the dubious leaders.
Yeah, not exactly an objective to lead the league in walks by your pitching staff.
Of course, the Angels, who we've talked about with their pitching, they are one of those dubious leaders along with San Diego. So yeah, it's company you don't want to keep.
That suspended game has been resumed from last night. 0-0 Phillies and Reds. They've played 9. And they'll play the regularly scheduled game after that. These games are always kind of dicey because it's not on the schedule, but the completion of the suspended game has to take place before the regularly scheduled game. So they normally start the completion of the suspended game maybe about 2.5 hours before the gates open for the regular game. And it could take 1 pitch to complete the suspended game.
Didn't we have one of those
yes.
a couple years ago? I remember Miguel Tejada was something. We had to play it in Houston. It was a game that was suspended in D.C.
That sounds right.
We had to finish it in Houston,
yes.
And they walked us off in Houston.
That's right.
That was really bizarre.
Yep.
And then we had to continue and play a game that night.
It's a different kind of day. 1 ball, 2 strikes. When Larry Durker had his seizure, that game was suspended in about the 6th or 7th inning with the Padres, and it wasn't resumed until their next trip in, which was a month later or something like that.
Integrity of the game.
Yeah. Sharply hit single through the right side. Peterson stops at third, and the bases are loaded with the throw coming into the plate from Barnes. 1 out, and Smith picks up his second hit.
And another one of those left-handed batters succeeding against the left-hand pitcher. And Seth Smith has been a house of fire against the Astros here in this series. Just looks so steady, it doesn't seem to matter who's on the hill.
He may have found a pretty nice home here. Jed Lowry with a walk and a single is back on it. Well, he has been Mr. Consistency for this Oakland club. He had been on base in all 13 starts until last night, going 0 for 4. Now we're going to get a pitching change with Bull Porter moving to Wesley Wright. 38 pitches for Cedeno. 22 have been strikes. And not wanting to overextend him and wanting to get out of this 4th inning bases loaded trouble spot, Bo will bring in Wright. 6-1 A's. Back in a moment.
Now in the game, and if your TV provider does not yet carry CSN, call and tell them you want your CSN. To get the facts and learn how you can help, go to iwantcsnhouston.com. We are working diligently to get CSN Houston on all TV providers.
Bases loaded. Wesley Wright in the game, and Jed Lowry's the batter. Wes has a whip of 1.31. No wins or losses, an ERA of 6.75. Ground ball in the hole at shortstop. Marwin Gonzalez goes to second. Altuve to first. Safe at first. And Peterson scores to make it 7-1. The Astros were pretty slick on that, but Lowry was able to beat the relay, which was a strong one from Altuve.
I would call it extremely slick. If you get a double play on that ball, you have done something way out of the norm. And even as it turns out, that was very nicely done. Look at how quickly Gonzalez gets rid of this ball, and then at second base, Altuve can turn it with anybody.
Now runners are on at the corners for Donaldson. Donaldson's 0 for 2. Lowry picked up RBI number 13 on that. It just seems that the A's have been hitting with the bases loaded most of this series. Outside for ball 1. You know, typically teams that get off to tremendous months of April make the playoffs a pretty high percentage of the time. Surprisingly so, because it's only 1 month out of 6, and a month with several days off usually.
A lot of people will say you can't win the division or the league in first month of the season. Sometimes it's true, sometimes not so much.
Gonzalez with a 2-hopper gets it to Altuve for the force on Lowry. It's 1 run, 2 hits, and a couple of men left. And after 4, 7-1 A's. Comes back to town with a new team Friday. The Astros are finally back home for a 3-game set with the Cleveland Indians. Astros pregame live kicks things off at 6:30 p.m. only on Comcast Sportsnet. Let's look ahead to that pitching matchup for Friday night's encounter. Chevron will bring it to you. Chevron, care for your car. Showing you Myers winless with 2 losses and an 8.82 ERA. And he's been banged up by homers. And Lucas Harrell is 0-2 with a 5.63 ERA himself. Both pitchers looking for a turnaround Friday night. J.D. Martinez is in the box looking at strike one from Bartolo Colon. Inning number 5 underway. 15,488 the paid attendance here at the Coliseum in Oakland. Martinez hit a fly ball to center in the 2nd inning. And this one goes for the right field line, but it's slicing foul and into that corner as strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Bartolo Colon is coasting with a 7-1 lead. 6 of those came in the 1st inning against Bud Norris. Norris in 2/3 of an inning, allowing 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, no strikeouts. Xavier Cedeno went 2 2/3. He allowed 3 hits, 1 run, walking 2, fanning 1. JD takes a look at that one for a 1-2 count with Barnes and Dominguez to follow in the Houston 5th. Fouling it straight back. It's still a 1-ball, 2-strike count for J.D. Martinez, trying to get something started. The Astros have been held to 3 singles by Colon, one of those an infield hit. Altuve has 2 of the 3. Fouled away. The A's will go to Tampa Bay and Boston on their 6-game trip starting Friday night. You guys will meet up, Jeff and Alan, in Boston.
So, team, this is not about you guys, Brownie.
You'll have what, 4 in Boston and 3 in Yankee Stadium?
Fabled Fenway Park and then on to Yankee Stadium.
Looking forward to that one.
Historic trip. Fly ball goes out to right field. Reddick gets a good jump. 1 out. Well, let's take a look at some notable Cal alumni. Robert Penn Warren, a 2-time Pulitzer Prize winner, a poet and a novelist. Saul Perlmutter, University of California, Nobel Prize winner in physics.
Old Perlmutter.
Hey, Jeff Blum.
Look at that fungo. That was svelte right there, guys.
You were.
Those were the good old days. We went to the College World Series my freshman year. I thought we were pretty rad back then.
Were you 6'10" then too?
Yes.
99 career homers?
Yep, sitting on it. Still waiting to get that 100.
Strike to Brandon Barnes. He worked the count full and then grounded out to second earlier.
You can't shut it down on 99.
No.
Yeah, I can. I just did. I think that might have been the 100th, Ash.
Yeah.
We remember that one.
Yeah, they don't count those.
Yeah, who would?
It just doesn't seem right to me.
No.
It means more in the postseason, right? But no, that doesn't count.
It's a good
Regular
point.
season.
I'd go with spring training home runs if you give me the chance. Batting practice is always good.
Tell you what, that's 99 more than I'm sure a lot of people thought I'd get.
Well, now, you haven't officially retired yet, have you?
You're correct. You do not know when the opportunity may arise.
Okay.
Actually, we've queried about that a bit lately.
So if the chance came up and somebody said, hey, Jeff, 1 game to go in the season, we want to give you a shot at number 1.
If they've got the right walker, I could do it.
Peterson makes an excellent play to retire Barnes.
You got to see, have you watched him, how he jumps when his phone rings during the game?
Full panic.
Matt Dominguez Struck out back in the 3rd inning.
Now batting.
Been easy
number
for
30,
Colon, although the
Matt
Astros did get a run off him
Dominguez.
in the 1st when Carter grounded into a force play. But now he's strung together 6 outs in a row. This Oakland club has outscored its opponents by a healthy margin, 96-59.
Well, again, they haven't lost within division, and I think that would speak hugely for them. They have not faced the Texas Rangers yet, and that'll be a challenge.
Those will be good games to watch. Two balls, no strikes. You think Lance will like Oakland?
Better than Wrigley. Lance Berkman is not a huge Wrigley Field fan.
No.
And the thing about Lance is it doesn't take a whole lot to get him to talk about it.
Yeah, he'll talk about it. 3 balls and a strike. It's really nice here for a day game. Foul back, 3-2.
Little better attendance at the day game as well. I wonder if that would lead them to consider more day games during the course of the week.
I think they have a fair number. I will have to check on that.
Very nice on the getaway day, especially heading back toward the east.
Bouncer goes foul, 3rd base side. What time is our arrival scheduled for tonight? Any idea?
Oh, goodness. It's all predicated upon the TOG.
Right. Well, what time would you guess?
Well, okay, let me chew on this a second.
Figure out your TOG.
Put the calculator away, Ash.
I'm going to go 10 o'clock at night.
Line shot to left field. That's in for a hit for Dominguez.
Wait a minute. Now I have to add a couple of hours to that.
Yeah, because
now let's put it at midnight to 1.
Okay.
What do you think?
That's fine, as long as there are at least 7 or 8 runs coming from the Houston Bats.
Love to see that happen. That could delay things a bit, but make a happier flight.
Will be delayed. Good swing by Dominguez. That's hit number 4 off Colon. Now Gonzalez. He fouled out to 3rd. Marwin hit a deep drive that was caught in last night's game at the warning track in right center field. A long ball would be good. There's strike 1.
Nice to see Matt Dominguez hang out a line drive for a base hit. He is, in my book, already proving himself as a legitimate 3rd baseman in the big leagues. He may be among the better ones very soon. And if he can swing the bat, you've already got one piece to the puzzle figured out. Not so sure that Marwin Gonzalez doesn't fit in nicely.
He has shown nothing other than a good ability to play the position at shortstop, and he's hit so well, as you see from those numbers.
Combination of Marwin and Altuve on the double plays, either direction, started by either player, just beautifully done.
It's a good young double play combo. Fly ball heads for left center field. Young's backing on it. Young at the wall, and he got it right in front of that wall after a long run. So Marwin continues to hit deep drives. Jeff Plum hit a memorable drive. 7-1 Oakland.
and MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years. Join the millions of fans and subscribers today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere.
Wesley Wright versus Josh Reddick, bottom of the 5th inning, 7-1 A's. There's ball 1. Well, it's over, guys. The Atlanta Braves 10-game winning streak has ended. Best team in baseball was 12-1 before losing to Kansas City today.
Wonder if they had a team meeting after that one.
And they lost it 1-0. It was Wade Davis of Kansas City coming up with a beauty.
That's the thing about Atlanta. They've not only hit with power, but great pitching.
They really have had that combination. 2 balls and a strike. Davis went 7 innings, scattering 5 hits. And the Braves, with a win, could have matched their best ever start through 14 games. In 82 and 94, they started 13-1.
What do you think of those Royals? Can they dust things up a bit this year?
I think they can hang around in the AL Central. Maybe not with Detroit, but for a possible wild card spot.
Stay healthy on that starting pitching side. They've beefed themselves up there.
Well, James Shields is well known. And he's the ace of their staff now. Davis is the other guy they got in that big trade for Will Myers. Reddick takes a walk. And the walks are really mounting. That's number 6 for Astros pitching in this game.
I think that's one of the more alarming aspects of what's going on with the pitching.
Number 36, Derek Norris.
Derek Norris has 2 of those walks today. Well, going back to Monday night, and that was a brutal night. It was cold. It was tough to pitch. But the Astros walked 8. The A's, on the other hand, walked 1. So this first spin through the AL West has certainly been difficult at times. Seattle looked good. There's ball 1. It would be a 3-6 road trip unless the Astros can turn things around. Trailing here 7-1 in the final game of the trip.
Some winnable games. It's certainly game 2 in Anaheim. Last night's game here in Oakland.
Liner to right field. Barnes comes in after pausing, slides and gets it. Throw into first. Almost a double play. The home plate umpire went down to make that call. After the first base umpire, Gary Darling, went out, and he made the call on the Barnes sliding catch. And Clint Fagan alertly hustled to first base to make the call there.
That's that one hit right at you. You have a tough time reading the depth on it a little bit, but Brandon did a good job of being patient and sprinting in to make the sliding catch.
He's a good looking outfielder.
It's nice when you got that makeup speed to kind of counteract the read right there.
Yes. That's exactly what happened there. He threw it into high gear again. Sogard is 1 for 2 with an RBI single his first time up. Ball 1 to Harry Potter.
I'm not sure how you play Harry Potter. Defensively, he just shoots it all over the yard.
You need a magic glove somewhere to counteract Harry.
Where do you get those?
Tap to second base. Altuve comes in. Flips on to first. We're still looking for that store for magic gloves.
Might be in Berkeley, and it's called Rasputin's.
Okay.
All kinds of magic there.
I think we finally put the whammy on Eric Sogard.
I think we have.
Number 32,
Shane Peterson drew a bases loaded walk in the first inning when the A's got 6, and he singled and scored run number 7 in the 4th. Yeah, Kansas City is now 8-6, Ash.
Not bad. Jeremy Guthrie also in that starting rotation.
There's another one, yeah. But that was an intriguing trade with Tampa Bay because Will Myers is really a very, very top prospect outfielder, and Tampa Bay got him. So that could pay off for the Rays for years to come, and that's the kind of trade they typically make. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that's exactly what Tampa Bay tries to do. But as good as you may be in trying to predict who's going to be a heck of a major league player, it's still a bit of a crapshoot. I mean, they can have some great minor league numbers, and it may or may not pan out.
True. Yeah, their end of the riskier end of the deal.
That's how they play it in St. Pete, and they've had success. The thing about it is, it took 10 years of futility to put together teams that had a chance and went beyond having a chance, fulfilling that that opportunity to win in a very tough division.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the young player is the best commodity that baseball offers right now. But so many teams are locking up their young players on multi-year contracts.
Tampa Bay does that. They did it with Evan Longoria, David Price. Doesn't hurt when you have talent like that comes together as youngsters.
Wright gets a strikeout on Peterson to end the 5th inning. And after 5, it's 7-1 Oakland.
Astros closing out a 3-game series. Our AT&T tweet of the game comes from Brett Wallace. He tweeted, "Just met Mark Jackson with Bud Norris, Brandon Barnes, Ambrice, and Domingo. #Warriors." That picture coming from when the guys visited Oracle Arena on the first day of the series. Now, I've always wanted to know what it's like to be in 2 places at once, and that's happening right now in the plaza. To my right is Oracle Arena. That's home of the Golden State Warriors. Head coach Mark Jackson getting his guys ready for the postseason. Check this out, just feet away, home of the Oakland Raiders and Oakland Athletics. That's how close they are, which makes for a very crazy and busy time when the two are playing on the same night, which happened Monday, and it'll happen again when the Warriors host playoff games next week, guys.
Oh, interesting. Jose Altuve is 2 for 2, leading it off here in the 6th inning. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Yeah, this is going to be a busy area. One and 2 the count. Altuve led off the game with an infield hit and came around to score on a Chris Carter force play. Then he tattooed a line drive to right center field in the 3rd to give him 22 hits for the season. This is game number 15. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Who's your favorite, Ash, for the NBA championship?
Wow.
Golden State?
You got me on my realm right now. Golden State is the favorite, huh? No, I'm going to go. I'll go against the favorite.
You're going to go Miami?
I think that's the odds on. Hugely.
Lowry. 1 out.
I'd have to say LeBron has had himself a bit of a year.
Oh, monster. Now the bullpen gets busy with Chris Resop for Oakland.
Now batting, number 44.
Justin Maxwell has lined to second and struck out.
How do you feel about the conversation that has evolved a little bit this year of saying, okay, Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, but LeBron is in the conversation?
We need more time to decide where LeBron ranks.
If you base it on championships, LeBron's got a little ways to go.
Yes, he does.
Is that the best way to base it?
Maybe not.
You know, and Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, a lot of terrific players from years gone by. And I don't know how many championships they can throw into that discussion.
Well, Bill Russell, who grew up right in this area, has to be up there on that list.
Certainly.
No balls, 2 strikes to Maxwell.
Wilt Chamberlain, a lot of great ones. Kareem.
Jerry West.
There's a lot of Lakers on that list.
There's a lot of West Coast represented here in the booth.
Throw Kobe in the mix, too.
Yeah. Strikeout for Cologne. That's number 3.
You know, Kobe, I have to say, as great a player as he is and has been for a long time, he might be even more impressive to me in the interviews he does and how he represents himself and the Lakers. He's really something.
He took that team on his shoulders until he got hurt.
Well, he does on the court, but again, as a presence, he's absolutely amazing.
Castro takes a strike. Jason's 1 for 2.
Of course, we forgot Magic Johnson in the conversation.
Yeah, we did.
Larry Bird and so many great ones.
We'll forget a lot of guys when we're talking NBA basketball, won't we?
Clearly.
Foul away, no balls, 2 strikes.
Second best player in the game today. Well, that's not fair because I'm going to put Kobe right there as a close one. Next. Jeff Blum has to.
Stephen Curry.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. He's local.
You're sitting kind of low as you come up with that
Feeling
response.
low. Don't make fun of my stature.
Another one. Shot foul, left field side by Castro. Still no balls, 2 strikes. Well, the Astros once came back from an 11-0 deficit to beat the St. Louis Cardinals. That's their biggest comeback. Trailing 7-1 right now in the 6th inning.
Why not?
It can happen.
Good to see some lightning out of these guys.
That's a deep drive to left field. Smith waiting though. Castro's been going that way for some long outs on this road trip. It is 7-1. Saturday, April 20th. The Astros will be taking on the Cleveland Indians. First pitch is at 6:10. The first bobblehead will be given out hours before that. To the first 10,000 fans, they receive a Jose Altuve bobblehead, courtesy of Xfinity. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your tickets and your bobbleheads today. Bottom of the sixth inning is coming. It is 7-1 Oakland. Top of the lineup due up against Wesley Wright. Jaso, Young, and Smith. John Jaso doubled in the first. That started a 6-run inning. Then he grounded out and got an RBI on that in his second at bat in the first inning. Hit a fly ball to right center, and Maxwell made a diving catch on him in the fourth. Ball 1 to Jaso. The A's tied an Oakland record last night. They had 3 triples in the game last night. 1 ball, 1 strike. So I guess we would have to be impressed by the AL West so far, right, guys?
He probably left a lasting impression on us.
2 balls and a strike.
Well, it's just weird. I mean, the Oakland A's are probably not a team that we talked about coming out of spring training as being the team to worry about. It was the Los Angeles, Orange County, Anaheim Angels
of California,
of the state of California. Great play right there by Marwin.
Tremendous play by Marwin Gonzalez, laying out to get Jaso.
I haven't seen anything he doesn't do well.
Yeah. Well, there hasn't been anything he hasn't done well. You're right.
Showing extensive range. I mean, he was pulled over to that, the shift to left-handed hitter a little bit, but he dove well on the second base side of second base to make that play and came up firing.
If one of the big name shortstops makes that play, you talk about what a tremendous play, and the guy, just makes it look so nice. Can't do it better than what Marwin Gonzalez just did.
Chris Young with ball 1. Yeah, if that's Tulowitzki, they're talking about that for a while. Young is 1 for 2 with a walk, and considering the game situation, here's a guy going all out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Typically, young players do. They don't really care too much about the game situation.
Survival time right now.
Bouncer and Dominguez backhands. Fires across, 2 down, but you guys can speak to that. When you're first up here, you're trying to establish yourself. You're trying to be an everyday player. It's all about just going hard all the time. Right?
That's exactly it. Yeah, you don't want to see younger guys get passive or give in to the situation. It's good to see Marwin Gonzalez right there, laying himself out for his teammates too. That's how you develop credibility in the clubhouse, is by letting guys know that you're not going to give up no matter what the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you're also trying to establish yourself as a major leaguer. You want to be that guy that just because you have a bad week doesn't mean it's time to consider sending him back down.
Mm-hmm. Strike to Smith. He's 2 for 3. Something's going on with the shoes, though. Now, Marwin is wearing the orange shoes today. Altuve had them on the other night, but he's not wearing them today.
We're not having guys swapping shoes, I hope.
At this level, you shouldn't have to share that.
Well, women do that, don't they? Hey, could I borrow your orange shoes tonight?
Break out the antifungal.
Maybe Marwin did it.
Yeah, there's too much funk running around the clubhouse to be doing that.
1 and 2. Do women still do that? Borrow dresses?
I have 4 daughters, and they might as well have 1 closet. And it's not a competitive thing either. It's
they
just,
have a communal closet?
Yeah, they should. Just have one. Between my wife and my 4 daughters, we could probably have 1 room as a closet.
You're starting to get into a very dangerous conversation now.
I'm going to hear it when I get home.
Well, we all hear it every time we get home anyway.
Guys, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I forgot. I forgot you were here, Julia. I thought you were over at the Coliseum, actually.
I've made it back.
Okay.
And we do share shoes.
Well, that's refreshing now that you would tell us that.
Is there any concern when you do that?
A little. You share with your closest friends.
Line drive to left center. That's a hit for Smith. That's his third hit of the game. And what do you think would be the average number of pairs of shoes that we'll say a young woman would have? Any idea?
You're talking how many shoes?
Yeah, how many shoes?
Oh, I lost count years ago.
Okay.
I have way too many. The average, goodness, anywhere between 15 to 30.
Okay.
Oof.
Depends.
Keep that way too many comment in mind and go home and donate.
I need to.
You got to have a pair for every day of the month.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jeff knows.
He does know.
I do.
He's been living up to it.
Lowry takes a look at ball one.
Whoa.
And then sometimes you don't need any.
It might have been too much camera work right there.
Fouled away. But Julia comes on these trips and she doesn't have time to shop. There's no time to shop on a road trip.
Not the way she's been coming to the ballpark early. And
well, she's running every morning. She's taking the first bus over.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, I did find time.
You did?
showing us up.
A little time. I'm one of those get in, get out shoppers.
Okay.
Don't spend a lot of time in there.
You go in with the game plan then. You know what you want.
Exactly. I should have run to the mall.
with some of the fans that we've seen you hanging with here at the ballpark, hope you get in and get out quickly too.
Lowry with a deep drive left center field. That one hops the wall. Looks like another run developing. Nope. Gallego is going to put up a stop sign on a double by Lowry with 2 outs. Now Lowry gets his second hit. That's his 7th double of the year. Smith was stopped at third base by Gallego.
Surprised Mike Gallego didn't take a shot right there and send
too.
Seth Smith home on that double. With 2 outs, the runner's moving as soon as the ball's hit high off the wall, and took a little bit of time to get it back in. But with 2 outs, you figure you'd take a chance even in a 7-1 game.
If you're Jed Lowry, you hit that double. Are you not thinking as you stand at second base, what in the world's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Where's my RBI? It's at third base. Take it off the board. Yes. Donaldson 0 for 3. Well, yeah, you know, like to get an RBI in that hit.
Yeah.
And usually
2-out RBIs are nice.
Sure, third base coaches know all about that stuff. They want to get the RBI for the guy, don't they, Jeff?
I think so. But given the situation, I'm not sure if Gags was thinking maybe we'll take it easy right here and not try and blow anybody out. But
please, it's too early for that, isn't it?
It is too early, and I don't think a 7-1 lead is, you know, I mean, it's a good lead, but still. Pump up those numbers when you get the chance.
Hector Ambrose there.
Guys make their living on those numbers. No matter what you want to say, you can talk about it. It's all about winning, and it is for the players. But underneath there and rather close under the surface is you make your living on those numbers.
Yeah. And there's this book called The Code. It's a good book about the unwritten rules of baseball. When do you pour it on? When do you stop pouring it on? But I think Jeff hit on it earlier. I really think the third base coach is concerned about a guy getting hurt on a play at the plate in a game like this, and maybe he thought that might be too close a play, and involving Smith, who knows? But he has to process all that information as he throws up those hands. Bull Porter's going to make a move to the bullpen. Hector Ambrose will be coming in for Wesley Wright. We'll be right back with the score 7-1 Athletics.
It's time for our Mazda game summary. I'll get you guys up to date. It all happened in the first inning. Early on, we had a chance to get to Bartolo Colon, but a great play by Donaldson only allowed us one run in that first inning, and then the onslaught was on. A couple of base hits, missed plays, but runners were everywhere. And the big hit by Josh Reddick off the right field wall is what opened the floodgates. From there on out, it was walks and base hits. Sogard sticking it to the Astros this series, driving in another couple runs right there. And that's where we sit, 7-1, Oakland A's.
Hector Ambrose comes in, facing Josh Donaldson, who's 0 for 3. That's a good job, Blummer.
I appreciate that.
You know, you did that so well, you'll probably get a chance to do it more this year.
Eventually.
Book it.
Dano.
We're talking about Marwin Gonzalez trying to establish himself on the field, Ash.
Yeah.
He's probably a lot more comfortable on that field than I am up here in this booth.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Wanted to hear where that was going.
Why do you think I cut him off? Salty veteran right there.
He knew. Well, it's been fun being together these first couple weeks. Now we'll all be going sort of in different directions part of the time. Anyway.
Yeah, we're going to break down and go to the zone defense now.
1 ball and 2 strikes. It's going to be lonely, Ash, without Blummer for this next homestand starting.
It's going to require some work.
You talking about me going home?
Well, that may too, but only deserving there. Yeah, it's been good.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Dominguez drops the ball, recovers, fires, and still he threw a strike. This guy's amazing. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left after 6, 7-1. On Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Progressive. Visit Progressive.com today. And the Chipotle Chicken Combo is back for a limited time at Jack in the Box. Try one today with fries and a drink for just $4.99 plus.
I'll tell you what, we were playing a lot better when we had the hot mess going on.
Yep.
Bring that back.
Now we have a bullpen move. Chris Resop coming in for Bob Melvin. After Bartolo Colon went 6 innings, he allowed 4 hits, 1 run. On this beautiful day in Oakland, he did not walk anybody. And he hasn't walked anybody in his 19 innings this year, and he struck out 3.
Chris Resop, a 30-year-old right-hander out of Florida. He has pitched with the Florida Marlins, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and now with the Oakland A's in his first season. This will be his 8th appearance on the year. He's allowed 4 hits and a run. It was not earned in 6 1/3 innings. That means that ERA stands in at a deadly 0 at the moment.
Chris Carter leads it off for the Astros. He's 0 for 2, had an RBI. Bouncing into a force play in the first when Altuve scored. And strike one. Well, Colon in line for win number 2 of this season. Came in with an ERA of 4.15 and lowered that. And the Oakland A's have been sturdy on the mound against the Astros. All 3 starters coming up with quality work in this series. Malone, Griffin, and now Colon. Well, the Astros offensively have had their chances, but last night they were held to 3 runs on 6 hits. Monday night they got 2 runs on 8 hits. And so far today 1 run on 4 hits. Carter takes him. It's 1-2. Rysop was drafted in the 4th round in 2001 by the Marlins. Pitched with the Pirates 61 times last season. He was in Japan for a while. Oakland got him in a trade. Strikeout for Carter, 1 out for Rysop. Carlos Pena's next. He's 0 for 2.
Number 12, Carlos.
Unlike Jason Castro, he's hit the ball in the air both times to the left fielder. Castro has hit 2 of those himself. Infield shifts around.
So Oakland A's bullpen's going to make it tough on us coming back in this game.
Boy, you're right about that, and it's made it tough on a lot of teams this year. You were pointing that out last night, how low their bullpen ERA is and how good it was last year.
Yeah, it's impressive. You just look at the numbers right now. They have a 1.64 for their bullpen, as opposed to the Astros, who are the exact opposite at the bottom of the list at 5.51 ERA.
Well, they've had to use their long relievers now twice in this series. High drive right center field for Pena. He unloads one, and wow. Carlos Pena has 2 homers in 2 games here in Oakland. That's number 2 of the season for him as an Astro, and it's now 7-2 as he rips one.
Hitting those late inning homers too, Ash.
Keep taking your hacks and see if you can get back in the ballgame. Carlos Pena starting to look like the guy who, again, has been a home run champ in the American League.
And he does like hitting at this ballpark. He came in with a .313 batting average at the Coliseum.
It's amazing. This has been historically a very tough yard offensively.
He sent that one on a merry ride. He has 2 homers and 4 doubles for Carlos. Now J.D. Martinez next, as it's a 5-run deficit for the Astros. J.D. has hit the ball in the air twice. He cranks a line drive for the left field corner, and that hits the base of the wall, and he hustles into second. Here's the throw from Smith off line. A double for Martinez. Well, the bats are booming here in the 7th inning with back-to-back extra base hits. 3rd double for Martinez.
Ball's laced off the wall.
He's almost hit so hard he didn't get to second base.
Where was this against Bartolo Colon and all the fastballs he was flipping to the plate?
Number 2, Brandon.
He was throwing too many good pitches to hit.
Okay.
We were waiting for somebody to be a little erratic.
Okay.
But JD, he hits that ball down pretty good. Just rare for a right-handed hitter.
He's at second for Barnes. Brandon has bounced out twice today. Dominguez on deck. Nobody stirring in the Oakland pen right now. Barnes hits one just foul outside the left field line.
Carlos Pena, we talked about the home runs he's been hitting, but this one to left field last night, and really got out by a good margin. Great power going the other way. Now here's the bomb to right center field, and in watching the outfielders from their perspective, a no doubt shot.
No balls and a strike to Barnes. He jacks one out of here. We might see somebody jump up in the bullpen pretty quickly. That would make it 7-4. One and one to Brandon.
Get situations like this late in the game. You like to just cut the lead in half each inning you play, keep them where they're at. Our bullpen, actually, the long guys did a good job, only allowing one run.
This one gets behind the catcher, Norris, and that allows for the advance of Martinez to third base.
You make it 7-3, 7-4 going into the last 2 innings. Give yourself a shot.
You bet. Martinez at third. Ruled a wild pitch by Resop. Xavier Cedeno in 2 2/3 innings allowed 3 hits, 1 run. He had 2 walks and a strikeout. Wesley Wright 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Cedeno threw 38 pitches, Wright threw 33. In tight. One almost clipped him, and it's 3-1 to Barnes. Colon threw 97 pitches, 69 were strikes in his 6 innings of work. 10 hits for the A's, 6 for the Astros. The Astros have the only error today. Grounded foul way out in front. 3-2 now. So Paul Clemens went 5 1/3 in long relief Monday. Dallas Keuchel 3 innings Tuesday. Wesley Wright 2 1/3, and Cedeno had 2 2/3 before him today.
And as good as that is, it's still an odd look to see your bullpen guys throwing 56, 60, and 53 pitches.
Sure is.
Getting their money's worth out of those guys.
Well, not that this would be the objective, certainly, but what that does is allow the young guys, and Cedeno doesn't have a whole lot of time in the big leagues. Keuchel has very little, to face a lot of right-handed batters and not be just a situational lefty.
It's all about experience.
But they'll be ready for that day off tomorrow after the relievers putting in so many innings in this series. I don't know if there's been a 3-game series in Astros history with a starter going 1/3 of an inning and 2/3 of an inning in 2 of the 3 games. That's pretty rare.
That is really rare. Not something you want to see. Oh, man.
Ooh.
That foul tip, a lot of times will do absolutely nothing. But where Norris is touching right there, that TMJ or whatever it's called, that's the one that used to eat me alive. If it throws the mask to one side or the other, it'll just pull that and makes life miserable for a while.
Barnes works a walk.
It's a good AB right there.
Yes.
Fouled off some tough pitches, get on base. Base runners are good.
Now it's Matt Dominguez. He lined a single to left field in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. Now we get a mound visit from Kurt Young.
Ash, I thought you were commenting on your favorite TV program, TMZ.
Yeah, I started to get that out, and that was exactly what was coming to mind. Is
Okay.
TMJ the right thing?
I think it is.
On
yes.
that joint.
Yes.
Thermomolecular.
Yeah, see, he's still going at it. That will be an impacting pain for at least a week for Norris.
You're going to discourage people from wanting to be catchers.
Well, you really shouldn't do it. If you have legitimate talent, don't even consider it.
Or a nice trust fund.
There you go.
Now we'll get some bullpen action. Jerry Blevins, the lefty, will begin to warm up. Dominguez had a really good swing in the 5th inning on that line drive hit to left. Marwin Gonzalez is on deck. Runner takes off for second. Barnes without a play. Norris didn't catch the pitch. That's an easy stolen base for Barnes, his first in his first try.
And just the 2nd stolen base on the season for the Astros.
I like it. It's a good move.
Remember back
get
in
out of
the
that double play.
The early part of the spring, how the Astros were running like crazy, and it looked like that could be a strength of this team offensively. It just has not worked out that way.
No. Ground ball third. Here's the throw home and the tag. Well, Martinez is thrown out. It was surprising to see Donaldson throw home, but it's out number 2.
You know, some clubs might go for the sure out at first base, but this was a sure out as well if you just perform like a major leaguer, and they absolutely did that.
That's true.
Wasn't a very good jump at third base by JD. You can see he was only a couple steps into his run home when the third baseman actually caught the ball, made it an easy decision for Donaldson to go home.
That is a shorter throw home than going to first, but it involves a tag play as well. Gonzalez is 0 for 2. Maybe he and Rysop have something going on Rysop's ERA.
Imagine Bob Melvin has his guys very well prepared for this type of a play. Can you get that out? Well, they got it by about 15-20 feet at home plate, and you keep another run off the board, one the Astros would absolutely love to have.
Strike to Gonzalez. Well, the ball was hit sharply and he had time to make that play. Now, Ryan Cook now has joined Jerry Blevins in the bullpen for Oakland. Marwin hit the ball well. It was caught on the warning track in left field in the 5th inning against Cologne. Pulled off that one, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Altuve on deck. The A's have been averaging 19,734. Today the attendance is 15,488. There's a liner into right center field. That'll get a run home. Barnes scoring. Here's Dominguez going first to third, and another run makes it 7-3 as the Astros get a big hit on an 0-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Now, he looked bad on a couple of earlier swings, but got one and handled it well for his 6th RBI.
Thank goodness for Marwin Gonzalez right there. I think we all would have been disappointed if only one run had come through in that inning. But yeah, got fooled a little bit early on, but didn't give in to the whole situation and just stayed on that ball and poked it up the middle for that RBI to keep this inning going. And now you got your hottest hitter on the team up with a guy at third base.
Man who broke up the perfect game for Yu Darvish in game 2 on the season, and that bat is quick from the left side.
Altuve is 2 for 3. Throw over first on Gonzalez. The Pena home run gives the Astros 14 homers as a team. They hit 14 in their first 23 games last year. This is game number 15 this year. Strike 1 to Altuve.
Get yourself a base hit right now, drive in another run, and turn this into a 3-run affair as you get into the last couple of innings. You give yourself a chance.
That would prompt a bullpen move, presumably. And now you'd be into a save situation type thing in the bullpen.
And it's good for Bo to see his young team not roll over and just cave in and start throwing ABs away. These guys are still going up there with aggressive at bats. There you go.
Line shot right. That'll drive in Dominguez, and it's 7-4 as Altuve hammers one for his 3rd hit of the day. It's RBI number 8 for Jose, and the Astros trail by 3. That will prompt the bullpen move for Bob Melvin. He's already indicated that.
That is awfully gorgeous hitting. And it looked like, at least to me, with that back foot kind of sliding back, that maybe Altuve was gunning toward right field. Sure looks like it to me. That's pretty. Watch the back foot just slide back.
Well, the pitch before he fouled off was down and in. He kind of spun off it a little bit.
Shooting that way?
And you could kind of see him outside the box getting a little annoyed with himself, making that adjustment mid-AB right there and going the other way for that 2-out RBI.
Number 48.
Now 7-4 ball game. We'll be right back. Score. The Astros were down 7-1, but they got a Pena home run, and then an RBI single from Gonzalez, another one from Altuve to close to within 3 and to bring in Ryan Cook.
He's a 25-year-old right-hander in his 3rd season in the big league. Started with Arizona, now in his 2nd with the Oakland A's. This afternoon's outing, number 8 on the season. He's been effective 7 1/3 innings, just 3 hits allowed and 1 run.
Justin Maxwell's 0 for 3. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Cook turns back toward second base. Cook came in the game last night, the 4-3 Oakland win, with a 3-2 lead in the 7th inning, and worked a scoreless frame. He threw 12 pitches, and all of them were strikes.
What a year he had a year ago. 71 games for Oakland, 209 earning, and a whip under the 1 mark.
Yeah.
It's terrific stuff.
Cook's from Southern Cal. Tommy Malone, who started and won Monday night, and Ian Kennedy were teammates with the Trojans with Ryan. Drafted by Arizona in 08. Ground ball goes foul past Dave Tremblay, the third base coach. No balls, 2 strikes. Cook last year struck out 80 in 73 innings. Opponents are hitting 120 off Ryan. Foul back on the 0-2 count.
Got away with one right there. One cut a lot of plate. Hanging breaking ball. You see he wanted to go outside and the catcher reaching back.
That's right in the wheelhouse. Tied up a little bit with it.
Yeah, if it's not a 2-strike count right there, that ball gets hammered.
And that probably is it, with 2 strikes, probably trying to stay back a bit, maybe shoot it the other way.
Maxwell is the 8th Astro to bat here in the 7th. Runners are going, and they'll move up without a throw on ball 1. Double steal with Gonzalez taking 3rd and Altuve 2nd.
It's going to put a little more pressure on the defense. Having those guys at 2nd and 3rd, now they got to throw all the way across the diamond and make that play. Maxwell's a pretty good runner, so good move right there.
First steal for each player this year. Now 2-2, so the Astros have stolen 3 bases today. They had 1 all season in 14 games coming into this.
Base hit gets you within 1.
Jason Castro on deck. Ground ball goes foul.
9-1-1.
Yeah.
It was emergency, but not a bad job in doing so.
Great job. It's a good arrow to have in your quiver.
10 hits for the A's, 8 for the Astros now. The Astros playing comeback on Oakland in the 7th inning. The A's got 6 in the first, added another run in the 4th, and they led 7-1. The Astros got a first inning run. Strike 3 call, a big call to end the Astros 7th inning. They send 8 to the plate. They get a home run from Pena. Run producing singles from Gonzalez and Altuve. And it's 7-4 Oakland.
For the 7th inning. It's a whole new ballgame for the Houston Astros, and prorated season ticket packages are available. Flexible mini packages are available right now. To learn about all the exclusive benefits and pricing, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com.
Thank you, MC Hammer.
He's working it.
Our bullpen's hoping for a little MC Hammer right now. A little can't touch this.
Josh Reddick comes up out of the 7th inning. It's now 7-4. Hector Ambrose works to Reddick, who had the 2-run double in the 6-run Oakland first. Goes for the first pitch. Altuve to his right. 1 pitch, 1 out in the home 7th.
Don't you have to wear the right pants?
Yeah.
What kind of pants are those, Ash?
What are those? I have no idea what you call those. Give me a name.
Pants.
Parachute pants.
Z Cavaricis. I don't know.
Wow, you're out of control.
Yeah. I am. You are correct.
Tarek Norris has walked twice and lined to right, where Brandon Barnes made a very good play on him.
Z Cavaricis, huh?
Yeah, I used to wear those back in the day. Peg the bottom of them. Chicks loved it.
I thought they dig the long ball.
I eventually found that out.
That's ball 1 to Norris. Sogard is on deck. Not much day baseball action today. Diamondbacks and Yankees play tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox and Indians play tonight in Cleveland. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals are at Pittsburgh tonight. Shelby Miller will be on the mound for St. Louis against A.J. Burnett. Tampa Bay's at Baltimore. Strike makes it 1-2 to Norris. A 1-0 win for the Royals over the Braves in Atlanta went to Wade Davis. He's 2-0 now. He beat Mike Minor, who's 2-1, and Greg Holland got save number 3. In the completion of that suspended game, the Reds beat the Phillies 1-0 at the bottom of the 9th. Tap foul. They picked it up in the middle of the 9th inning. Aroldis Chapman was the winner. Philippe Aumont lost it. And the Rangers and Cubs were postponed at Lance Berkman Park in Chicago.
Is that what they call it now? Is that after or before the improvements?
That's going to be after $500 million.
I wonder if the visiting clubhouse guy is going to put his locker right next to the bathroom, prime position.
Norris is down on strikes. Hector Ambrose has 3 in a row.
And now our pitch by pitch presented by Steel Dealers with Derek Norris at the plate. Hector Ambrose on the hill. Fastball's not going to get many calls right there, but the high cheese blown on by evens the count, and then Pete on the outside edge. The curveball fouled down the line and then come right back with that hammer to get the strikeout. That was well done by Ambrose.
He came in with runners at second and third in the 6th inning and got Donaldson. That was a big out, and now the Astros trail by 3 with Sogard batting. Showing bunt. He takes strike 1. Sogard drove in a 1st inning run with a hit. Eric's 26 years old from Phoenix and Arizona State. 1-1. Last year he had 102 at bats and he hit 167 with Oakland.
Must have got new glasses.
These are tuned up,
He
apparently.
must have.
Found the right stigmatism in there.
Foul ball, heads for the seats. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
If I had to wear glasses while I played, I think I'd try and rock the Chris Sabo sport goggles.
Oh, yeah.
Bring those back.
Spuds.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
Oof. Spitting image. Harry Potter.
I had no idea he could hit. Classic case of the body you wouldn't expect to be a good ball player, but
Fly ball out to left center field. Maxwell over. In the 7th inning, Hector Ambrose gets them quickly, moving on to the 8th with the score 7-4 A's. Astros big and bright Friday nights are the perfect combination of baseball and family fun. Each Friday night game is followed by a spectacular fireworks show presented by Marathon Oil. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your tickets today. And that will be this Friday. Cleveland Indians come in. John Jaso moves behind the plate to do the catching. He's been DHing. Derek Norris was the starting catcher. And Ryan Cook, who got Maxwell looking in the 7th inning to end the Astros rally. The Astros getting 3 runs on 4 hits in the 7th. Chris Resop in 2/3 of an inning allowed those 4 hits and 3 runs. He walked 1 and fanned 1. We don't have any injury report so far on Norris, who struck out for the second out in the 7th inning. Now it'll be Castro. Jason is 1 for 3, a single to right field in the first, then 2 fly balls to left. Jose Veras is getting loose in the Astros bullpen, with Castro leading it off here, and then Carter and Pena to follow. This one heads for left center field. That's well hit, and that one bangs off the wall pretty high. Castro into second with a leadoff double here in the 8th.
Jason Castro has been banging away toward left field, just got under a couple, but this one he's centered up pretty well.
Smoked off the wall, high off the wall.
Yep. Tough pitch down and away and moving in that direction. He's got some pop going that way.
Two hits for Castro today. That's double number 4 for him this year, the 9th hit for the Astros. And Chris Carter comes up. He's 0 for 3 with an RBI in this game. Blevins is working in the bullpen, the lefty. That's strike 1. So now, Ash, you've been doing American League Baseball for a few years now. And this is one of the intricacies of the league with the DH. Jaso was the DH. He's now catching. So that means they give up the DH.
It's one of the difficulties when you choose to use one of your 2 catchers to be a DH. And sometimes it makes full sense. It's a guy that factors in well in the lineup. But I have a feeling, and Jeff Blum was pointing it out, that foul tip on Norris may have taken him out of the ball game, and so you're forced to move your DH in. That means in a critical point of the ball game late like this, that pitcher spot has to hit for itself or use a pinch hitter.
So the pitcher now is in Norris's number 7 spot with him leaving the game. He did make the next to last out in the 7th, so chances are it won't come up. Bob Melvin has given himself every chance to avoid that by the substitute he's made. His foul ball comes back, and it's still a 1-ball 2-strike count. But yeah, a manager has to be extremely careful in the American League about giving up that DH situation. In this case, evidently he had no choice. We don't have an injury report yet, but assuming that Norris did leave with an injury.
You know, the one manager that will do this where there isn't an injury involved is Joe Madden with Tampa Bay.
Really?
He gets really creative to the extent that it's just out of line sometimes, it seems.
Second strikeout for Cook.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of this half inning, John Jason moved to
it's paint right there at best.
Out of the game, and Ryan Cook is now batting 7th.
Now here's Pena coming up. Pena homered in the 7th inning to start the Astros rally. He's 1 for 3. The PA announcer just told the crowd about the pitcher batting in the number 7 spot for the A's. Typically, injury information is not announced over the PA. It's announced in the press box, if at all. Strike to Pena.
This close to Berkeley, he's getting a little liberal with the strike zone there.
That must be the reason.
Is that what's going on?
The ball right there was a little questionable for me.
Well, there was a previous strike call that might have been a little edgy.
There may be a demonstration if that continues. There's a shot going foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Watch out at People's Park.
Why don't you guys start getting hot with the bat like Pena seems to be here in the last couple of ball games, and all of a sudden those swings start looking just livelier, a little crisper.
A little more purpose behind them.
Back for another bat. Pena
making Clarkie dance down there. It's kind of good.
It's far enough away that that dance probably is not necessary to be in exact same time mode.
Probably still got that MC Hammer playing in his head. Might have been his walk-up song.
J.D. Martinez is on deck. Pena strikes out. 3 strikeouts for Cook now.
Some kind of a changeup here, whether it's splitter or, wow, that hand just seemed to roll over the baseball. That's probably the circle change or some version where you just roll over it, and very good arm speed.
Great movement on it too.
Martinez doubled to the left field wall in the 7th inning off the base of that wall. He's 1 for 3 and tied for ball 1. Brandon Barnes on deck. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, the left-hand hitters are yet to come up with a hit against Cook this season, and when you see that kind of a changeup, that will just destroy left-hand hitters. He may not throw it as much against the right-handers.
Foul pop goes back into the seats, and it's a 1-2 count to J.D. A's relievers last year combined for the 2nd best bullpen ERA in the National League. It's even lower so far this year. It's 2-2. They've held their opponents to a 196 batting average against the A's relievers. But Chris Resop was touched up in that 7th inning, allowing 3 runs. Fly ball center field. Young waiting. And in the 8th inning, it was a promising start with the leadoff double by Castro, but no runs, a hit, and the man left. 7-4. They're coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's take a look at some things the Astros have done well defensively.
Yeah, if you can avoid walks and have those guys put the ball in play somewhere within reach, the Astros have done a good job of getting to them and making the plays. Coach Pena, Justin Maxwell, Brandon Barnes making a good read in the sliding catch.
What a play that was there by Marwin Gonzalez. Go back behind second base. Terrific play.
At the moment may have seemed, not that significant, but the closer we get, the more it looks like it was a completely necessary play.
Keep the ball game close, give the offense a chance, and the offense has come to life a bit here late in the ball game.
Jose Veras had a tough night Saturday in that loss to the Angels, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning. He comes in with an 0-1 record, a 9.64 ERA in 5 games.
James Peterson.
Shane Peterson leads it off. Hector Ambrose went 1 1/3 innings, allowing no hits, no runs, with no walks, 1 strikeout. Peterson has a bases loaded walk, a single, and a strikeout in his second major league game. The hit was his first as a major leaguer. Grant Balfour, the closer, is getting loose for Oakland. Strike 1 for Peterson. Harris gave up the game-winning 2-run double by Albert Pujols. That was Saturday night in Anaheim. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He got the first out in the 9th. Had a 4-3 lead, and then he walked the third baseman Jimenez. Retired J.B. Shuck, so he needed 1 more out, but Trout got an infield hit, and then Pujols the game-winning 2-run double. It's 2 balls and a strike. The Astros have the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up in the 9th: Barnes, Dominguez, and Gonzalez. So the mission is pretty clear for Veras. Try to get this side out, put up a 0 in the 8th inning, give his club a chance to rally against the closer Balfour. High drive to right center field, a long run for Maxwell. Maxwell was shaded to left center field. He gets there. Oh, he and Barnes come together. Maxwell is down. The ball is caught for out number 1. Barnes caught it.
Yeah, the shift that we do play in the outfield, or we have been playing recently, is Justin Maxwell way over in that left center field gap, but it creates such a distance in between both fielders that I'm sure Brandon Barnes is aware where Justin Maxwell is playing and knows he has to go such a long way that by the time he got there, he probably didn't hear Maxwell calling him off.
That's the one thing we can't know from here is who's calling, and if Maxwell calls, it's his one way or the other, and you have to be able to hear and react. Nice to see the aggressive nature on both parts.
Barnes caught it for out number 1. Now J.So takes a strike. J.So has a double and an RBI in this game. He's been robbed by a couple of defensive plays, one by Maxwell in right center and the other by Gonzalez up the middle. It's 1-1. J.So was DHing, but with Norris leaving the game, he then moved behind the plate. Maxwell had a long distance to get to that ball. Veras throws ball 2.
And both those guys would have caught that ball easy. That's what's nice to know as a pitcher, is that you got 2 guys out there that can run a little bit and make plays, but even with that much territory to cover.
Veras, who's 32, pitched 72 times for Milwaukee last year. He averaged more than a strikeout per inning. Foul back. It's 2-2 to J.So.
Wound up working just 67 innings and walked 40, and it's that walk column that I think provides alarm with Jose Veras. You got a guy in your closer role now that has walked 175 hitters in a career's 319 innings. It's a lot of walks.
The left arm's barking a little bit for Justin on that after that collision.
Mm-hmm. Three balls, 2 strikes. Well, Bo Porter has told his pitchers there's no defense for the base on balls. Just tried to reinforce that as much as he can.
No defense for that gap in right center either.
It's a shot by the shortstop into left center field. Marwin Gonzalez threw his glove up as that ball went to his right for a hit for J.So. Join Kevin Eschenfelder on Sports Talk Live. We'll be wrangling up some sports guests that have plenty of opinions and play-by-play analysis. You never know who will stop by with something noteworthy or buzzworthy on Sports Talk Live. weekdays at 5. Now Young's coming up. He reached on a single in the first. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. Altuve's right behind second base. Strike one to Young with Seth Smith on deck.
It's got to be tough for Altuve to stand right behind Jose Veras and see the home plate. Veras 6'6". He's a big boy.
You're right. It's kind of a weird place to be stationed.
So he can creep over towards the third base side a little bit now, get a better angle.
Exactly. He wants to see that catcher sign. Doesn't want to be blocked out on that by the pitcher. One and one. Would that bother you as a hitter if a guy was stationed right up the middle behind the pitcher at all?
I had shifts played on me late in my career, but I don't think that I focused too much on them. If there was a lot of movement, it got a little annoying, but wasn't too bad for the most part.
Funny thing is if an umpire positions himself right there, hitters will say, can you move to one side or the other? But nothing you can do about that defensive player.
Right. From time to time, some of those guys stationed up the middle have tried to jump around, and that's not really allowed. The umpire could make them stop doing that if they're catching the hitter's eye.
Talking Little League or Pony League?
Either one.
That would be a Little League move.
Yeah. Balfour warming up with a 1-2 count. Late swing by Young, and he's down on strikes. 2 outs. Strikeout number 4 for Astros pitchers.
Kind of a hanger got away, and
Left fielder, number 15.
I think Young was committed to that pitch when he first saw it.
Didn't look like it. Looked like a very late reaction to it. Smith is 3 for 4. Oakland has out-hit Houston 11-9. Houston has the only error in the game. The A's fired out in front with a 6-run first after Houston got a run in its first inning. Chase-O back to the bag. And it stayed 6-1 until Oakland added a 4th inning tally. It was 7-1 until the 7th when the Astros got 3. Oakland is trying to sweep this 3-game series and win 6 in a row against Houston to open the season. Popped up. Pena shading his eyes. Now we'll cross over to foul territory. And he takes care of the 3rd out. No runs a hit and a man left. The Astros come up in the 9th. Barnes, Dominguez, and Gonzalez. Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. From Oakland, California, it's the finale of this homestand for the A's fans. They've been going crazy when Grant Balfour comes in. He comes in here with a save situation, a 3-run lead, 1 inning to go, 7-4 A's. And it's Balfour. Those fans in that Balfour rage out in right field.
Grant Balfour, he's that closer for the Oakland A's and has very good stuff. Fastball that'll get the job done, other pitches to go with it. See some good stuff in this back end of the bullpen for the Oakland A's.
He's pitching in all 3 games in this series. He's 2 for 2 in saves this season, allowing 4 hits and 1 walk in 6 innings. With that ERA of 1.5. And going back to last year, he has saved 20 in a row. He saved the 6-3 win for Bartolo Colon in Houston, April 6th. Now trying to save win number 2 for Colon. Rick Ankiel will be the pinch hitter for Brandon Barnes, leading it off in the 9th inning. Ankiel started in right field last night and went 0 for 4. He hit a sizzling line drive with the bases loaded that was caught in the 3rd inning by Shane Peterson. This is the 6th longest save streak in Oakland history by Balfour, 20 in a row. There's ball 1. His last blown save was back on April 29th, 2012 at Baltimore. Ankiel hit a big pinch homer on opening night. At 148, he has 2 homers, 8 runs batted in for 27 at bats. He's 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter. Takes that one for ball 2, and it's 2-0 to Rick, with Matt Dominguez on deck. Ankiel has hit 200 on this road trip with a homer and 5 runs batted in. Infield is shifting around, playing him to pull. 2-1 now. Rick made the Astros team as a non-roster player this spring, one of 3 to do that. Eric Bedard and Gonzalez, the pitcher, the others, but he was then designated for assignment. Edgar. That's a fly ball hit well right center field, coming over for it Reddick, and that ball is out. 2nd pinch homer for Rick Ankiel this season, and it's now 7-5 as he drills one here in the 9th.
I think we're finding Rick's niche.
Likes that pinch hitting role. Wow.
Save up some of that pop, come in and ruin a closer's afternoon with a shot like that.
Very impressive. And again, we've talked about this ballpark being more favorable offensively in the daytime, but nonetheless, very well done for Rick. Big part of the yard.
Now Matt Dominguez looks at strike 1. That's 9 runs batted in now for Rick Ankiel, tying Chris Carter. Pena homered in the 7th inning. Hit number 10 for Houston. Foul back, it's no balls, 2 strikes, and the extra base hits didn't start off the Astros bats until the 7th inning when Pena homered. Then Martinez doubled. Castro doubled in the 8th. Now Ankiel with another circuit blow here in the 9th inning. Well, their offense is coming around late in this one. They had scored 10 runs in their previous 4 games. 1-2. They trailed 7-1. Now 7-5 with nobody out, and Marwin Gonzalez on deck. Altuve's due up after Gonzalez. Bounces for a ball to make it a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Balfour had 2 different stints as the A's closer last year. He wound up with 24 saves in 26 opportunities. He's from Sydney, Australia. Signed with the Twins at the beginning of his career.
That streak of 20 in a row, rather impressive.
Boy, it is. Liner to left field. That's in for a hit. And Dominguez continues the late inning hits for the Astros. He's 2 for 4 in this one. That brings up Marwin Gonzalez.
Yeah, the Astros suddenly find themselves a big swing away from a tie ball game.
Now batting, number 9, Marwin Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, with a single to right center, drove in a 7th inning run. He's 1 for 3. Altuve on deck. That Oakland bullpen ERA, which was 1.64 at the beginning of the day, is taking a hit. Rysop allowed 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. That's pulled foul.
It's probably a case of Marwin trying to get the head out and yank one out to right.
Why not? He did a good job of it in Seattle, and he's seeing the ball well, swinging the bat well, let it fly. This works out pretty good, having Dominguez at first base, and you've got 3 of your best hitters coming up in the 9-1-2 spots.
Donaldson's even with the bag at third. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gonzalez. Colon left after 6 innings of 4-hit 1-run baseball with the 7-1 lead. 2 balls, 1 strike. His 173rd major league win on the line here. And the Astros have lost 7 in a row overall to Oakland. They are 1-10 against the A's. 0-5 this year. This would be a rousing game if they can build on what they've done, come back and do something further here in the 9th inning and tie it or take the lead. 2-2.
Not much you can do with that pitch right on the outside edge, especially if you're looking to try to drive one.
Yeah, I'm okay with the choice not to swing at that. Chase those sometimes, pop it up, or get out on it. You know, take it, extend your at bat a little bit, give yourself one more chance.
Yeah, if you're in that mode trying to hit one toward left field, maybe left center field, that's one thing. But I have a feeling Marwin, for a couple of strikes, was trying to drive one.
Foul that one off his leg. He limps away from home plate.
No matter how much protective gear you put on, it's always going to find that spot that doesn't have it.
Isn't that the truth?
I thought about going up there with a catcher's shin guard one year. Took a beating.
Well, once you get to the point where you feel the need for the shin guard, even if you hit it on the shin guard, it still hurts like crazy.
A little extra time here for Marwin. He wants to be able to run. Takes that in the dirt for ball 3. Now 3-2 with Dominguez, the runner at first. Dave Clark comes over and talks to Dominguez with Altuve waiting to bat next.
Wouldn't be a bad time to send Domingo. Got Marwin at the plate, handling the bat pretty good, feeling good about himself, has a good chance of putting the ball in play. Although on the other hand, you'd really hate to see us strike him out, throw him out.
He rips it foul.
Down 2 runs, it becomes pretty dicey to take off running.
Could really take yourself out of a ball game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, that bat from the left side from Marwin Gonzalez can be awfully quick.
He's thumping it.
It seems like he's waiting forever to see it and still has enough time or enough bat quickness to turn on it.
Young is straight away in center field. Reddick deep in right. Donaldson about 3 steps off the line at third. Grounder to first. Here's the throw for one. Return throw to first to Peterson. Not a double play. Now Peterson got the lead runner Dominguez on a 3-6 play. But Lowry's throw did not take care of 2 outs. Gonzalez is aboard for Altuve.
Had a good angle to throw from, coming in and creating that line toward the shortstop. Throw back gave no opportunity.
Number 27.
See that clear lane to be able to throw to. Not a great throw, though.
Lowry off balance. Couldn't get a lot on his.
One throw off line tends to lead to another.
Yeah, Lowry had to reach up high. Now Altuve with 3 hits and 4 at bats. He drove in a 7th inning run with a single to right. Maxwell's on deck. There's ball one. Now we get bullpen action again with the lefty Jerry Blevins. "18 pitches for Balfour so far, 10 of them strikes." Up the middle. There's the toss, and Lowry, the middleman, on a double play started by Sogard to win this one 4-6-3. Well, the Oakland A's have swept this 3-game series. They go to 12-4. They've won 11 straight in the American League West. They are 6-0 against the Astros this season. Here's the way it ends.
Yeah, you can't set it up much easier than that. Astros took their shot, though, late in the ballgame with the bats.
Astros came back with 3 in the 7th. They got the pinch homer from Rick Ankiel here in the 9th, but the double play ends it, and the A's come home winners 7-5.